Well, good evening, Arkansas. First off, hopefully everybody enjoyed that Razorback win this afternoon. But again, our attention has been, as we've been watching all afternoon, and we've talked about for much of the week, the potential for severe weather as we head into Saturday afternoon and evening across the natural state. Did get started a couple of hours early. Most of us hit the 80s and 90s this afternoon, and that has led to multiple severe warnings around the state. Again, our tornado threat is extremely low with this, but our hail threat is really high right now.
Yep.
We have seen multiple reports throughout the evening of hail around the state, and we're going to get to each and every storm here in just a moment.
Yep. So before, we got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings right now here. That's Chief Forecaster Derek, and I'm Assistant Chief Forecaster Cameron over here. He's going to be taking care of your radar throughout this event. I'm going to be taking care of the media stuff. We're getting a lot of people sending photos, videos, and stuff like that. We appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. But at the moment here, I'm kind of sorting through all that, so bear with us just a little bit. We're going to get to everybody's questions when we can, but right now we got active severe weather ongoing across Arkansas. Derek, if you do me a favor, let's go ahead and take a look at the one near Greenbrier at this point. That one, it has a considerable damage tag on it. That was going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Van Buren, southwestern Claiborne County, east central Conway, and northern Faulkner counties until 7 o'clock this evening. Severe thunderstorm located in Mollett Town, or 12 miles north of Conway, moving east at 30 miles per hour. I mentioned this in a live stream earlier today that we were going to have to watch that Conway area for hail, and we've got golf ball sized hail near Conway at this point. So it's moving east at 30 miles per hour at this current time here. So if you're outside right now, I know it's a Saturday evening, everybody's want to go out, do other stuff. Watch the situation closely. If you come across this storm here, you're in the path of this storm, that's going to include Rosebud, Guy, also Greenbrier. This is going to stay north of downtown Conway. But I would definitely watch this storm, especially in northeastern White County, going into Claiborne County here, okay? So watch that storm close. If you're in the path of this storm, you want to get away from the outside. You want to get away from the windows as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, either cover your car up or put your car in the garage somewhere. It will be protected from hail damage here at this current point here. But also, not only that storm, I'm getting a lot of photos in coming out of western Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas. We've got flooding reports coming out of Fort Smith right now with that storm near Greenwood. Another severe thunderstorm warning on 40 right now coming out of Sebastian County, coming up into, I believe, Franklin County over here in western Arkansas. That one's going to be a hail producer as well. So very busy night here in the Weather Center. As I said before, that's Chief Forecaster Derek and Assistant Chief Forecaster Cameron over here. We'll continue to keep you guys updated here. Go ahead, Derek.
And again, this storm is currently producing upwards of 1 to 2 inch hail, and this is currently coming across Highway 65, be really right, just north of Conway, right in between Greenbrier and Twin Groves, and this is moving off towards the northeast here at about 20 miles an hour, moving over mainly rural areas of northern Faulkner County. But this is going to push into White County here over the next 20 to 30 minutes, and as we head towards the bottom of the hour, folks like Mount Vernon and Rosebud could see the path of this storm. Again, let's look at the hail size on this storm as well. Again, this is just a rough estimate of the hail size in this storm, but we have multiple sites on the radar that are reporting at least 1 inch hail with this storm, and we have seen it produce up to 2 inch hail over the last hour or so. Again, this is moving off towards the northeast here at about 20 miles an hour or so. Again, not seeing much in the way of rotation, and that's a good thing. Like we said, our overall tornado threat is extremely low, but our damage and wind threat will go up as we head throughout the evening hours.
Right, and kind of looking at guidance here, taking a look at that for just a bit. We do have additional shower and thunderstorm development that will get going later on this evening. If you're needing that information, take a look at the bottom right corner of your screen here. That's where your future cast is going to be. I know we're getting a lot of people kind of asking about, specific towns, specific counties, and stuff like that. Right now, there's just too many to try to get to at this point. So take a look at that future cast at the bottom right corner of your screen. It's going to have all that information pulled up for you guys as well here. Okay, but if you're in the path of severe thunderstorm warning, if your phone's going off, You need to get away from outside, get away from the windows, and get away from the exterior walls here, because I'm getting a lot of reports here of hail damage, hail covering the ground near the Desert area. We've got a couple reports in Jacksonville as well. A couple reports over there, as mentioned before earlier, in Fort Smith, heavy rainfall producing flooding over there. The flooding threat's going to be very low, but if you start getting heavy rainfall over the same area for a very long period of time, that's where you can have problems. So we're going to have to watch the situation closely over there here, guys. But as I said before, very busy in the Weather Center this afternoon, this evening. We're not ignoring anybody. I want to make that perfectly clear right now. Now, somebody's tuning in saying you're not answering our questions and stuff like that. We warned you guys of this earlier on. But it's very busy in the Weather Center right now, so I'm trying to get to as many people as physically possible here. But Derek's doing coverage over there at this current time here. Go ahead, Derek.
So again, and again, we are going and watching every storm here, and there's a lot of warnings around the state. Again, all severe thunderstorm warnings, but these storms are producing very large hail, 1 to upwards of 2 inches at a time in diameter around the state. So again, we do have this warning out here for areas around the Desert area, and this is moving off towards the east at about 23 miles an hour, and again 1 inch hail with this storm as well. We also have another one. This one is probably one of the longest lived cells of the day. This one has actually moved out of Yale County and is very slowly moved southeast, and this is heading towards a very populated area: Benton, Bryant, Haskell, Traskwood, Lonsdale. This area, this storm here is moving off towards the southeast, and it has a very well-defined hail core with this storm. And when I take a look at the hail size on this storm here, if we can get it to come up, Cameron, if you look at this, we have 3-inch hail with this storm.
The one in Saline?
Yes, and this is moving off towards the southeast, and this is going to take it towards Haskell, towards areas just north of Lonsdale,
right there on I-30,
and then right on areas along I-30 here in about the next 10 to 15 minutes. Not saying a whole lot of winds on this storm, but that being said, we do
some mid-level rotation there as well.
And a new warning just got issued with the storm.
Yeah, just got it, and we're fixing to kind of update here just a little bit. Taking a look at the hail size over here, I'm looking at on my radar as well. Definitely, I see exactly what you're talking about there. We got 3-inch hail being reported right there in Owensville. That's moving southeast at about, I would say, 15 to 20 miles per hour. So if you know anyone, there it is right there. And that should be ping ball size hail, 60 mile per hour winds. I wouldn't be shocked if that ended up being okay. So it's producing 1.5 inch hail, moving southeast at about 20 miles per hour. It's going to be impacting Benton, Hot Springs Village, Traskwood, Bryant, Haskell, and also Alexandria over here as well, and also Owensville, as I mentioned before. Owensville's getting a good hailstorm right now across the board, and also Bauxite. So if you're outside right now, the biggest thing I can tell you, get away from the windows. You need to get away from the exterior walls as well. And also, like I said before, you have time. If you're on 30 right now, or you're going into Benton or Haskell or Bauxite or Traskwood, you have time right now. Go ahead and try to cover your car up, moving into a garage, something like that, to protect it from hail damage. As mentioned before, this is producing radar indicated, by the way, 1.5, but I'm seeing some hail sizes over here of almost 3 inch in diameter, so keep that in mind here. That can do some serious damage to cars and stuff like that, to roofs, and also windows. And the reason why we're saying so much get away from windows is because 50, 60 mile per hour winds, wind-driven hail goes right through the window and causes injuries. So keep that in mind across the board. But 60 mile per hour wind gusts, 1.5 inch hail with that storm here, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour here, going into the I-30 corridor here at this time here. Go ahead there. So
again, Haskell is 7:22, Salem at 7:23, Benton and Bauxite here around 7:24, and then of course on towards Bryant. Around 7:36. So once again, this is probably the storm that is producing the largest hail. Again, it's out there all by itself. Not expecting a tornado threat out of this, but again, we do continue to watch it because this is the one storm alone by itself, and it's just south of boundary. Again, let's go look at the velocity just to see. Again, not a whole lot of wind with this storm. right now, getting really seeing maybe about 15, 20, and there's a 40-mile-an-hour gust there, mainly around where our hail is in this storm. So let's look at this one more time. Just the average hail size of this storm right now. We're seeing 2-inch hail over a large area.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do is put a track of where this large hail is and about to be where it would go. And this is going to track down towards Benton and Bauxite. So if you are in Benton and Bauxite, you have time to get your cars under cover or get anything that is breakable under cover. Again, we also have 60-mile-an-hour winds with the storm, so treat it as if you would a tornado and stay away from windows. And with the drought, our trees are a little bit more susceptible to damage compared to what we've seen, say, if we were not in a drought right now. We have already seen it in our
Go ahead.
Okay, in our neighborhood as well. That we've seen trees falling on lines and branches and transformers, and then causing power outages all well away from any storms. So once again, one of several severe storms around the state this evening. West Arkansas, we're fixing to go and take a look at you here in just a second.
And we got some heavy rainfall here, guys. As I mentioned before, everybody's kind of tuning in, trying to figure out, what's going on, trying to get their questions answered. We're going to try to get you guys as quickly as possible here, guys. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 severe thunderstorm warnings. One is a special weather statement across the area here. So we're pretty busy here in the Weather Center. We're not ignoring anyone. I'm going to make that perfectly clear right now. No one is being ignored at this point. We're just very, very busy right now. We'll get to everybody as quickly as we can. We've got several forecasters in the chat right now as well. So we're trying to get to everybody as quickly as possible. But we've got multiple warnings across the board. So please respect that and keep those comments nice and respectable, guys. We have somebody in the we have someone in the comments here, guys. If we have to block, we just have to block here, but keep it respectable across the board here. Go ahead, there.
All right. So now we're here in Western Arkansas, taking just a look at these storms here as they move across Western Arkansas. Again, 1-inch hail is the main threat with the storm, along with 60-mile-an-hour winds. Again, the storm across Ozark is going to move across mainly rural areas here in north of I-40, and this is going to be mainly 1-inch hail moving off towards our northeast. But for our folks down here in Crawford and Sebastian counties, we have basically what is a continuation of a line of storms that is starting to develop and push east across the state, and this is going to be moving towards the east-northeast here at about 20 miles an hour or so, and the main area of hail is going to be moving across areas like Barling and Central City, Lavaca, Charleston, Branch, a lot of small towns here in western Arkansas. And again, this is one of many storms across the state this evening.
Right. So let me see here. So we're checking everything at this point. We're good on the sound over there as well. But as I said before here, guys, thank you guys for tuning in and stuff like that. We got severe weather coverage going on. I mentioned this in the live stream this morning that we were going to go live if these severe thunderstorms were producing damage. At this point here, severe thunderstorm warning continues for southwestern Franklin, southwestern Crawford, northern Sebastian County, so 7:30. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1-inch hail with those storms at this current point here. And I want to stress this to everybody right now. These are not tornado warnings, okay?
Nope.
You do not need a big red box to take this seriously, okay? This is producing significant hail and it's producing power outages, okay? You do not need a tornado every single time to take severe weather seriously. Severe weather can happen in damaging winds, they can happen in large hail as well here, and also flooding. So please keep that in mind here, okay? Right now, severe thunderstorm warnings. We have no tornado warnings on the board. This is why we're live right now, to keep you guys updated. That way you know what to do during severe thunderstorm warnings here. But please treat them with the same respect as you would as a tornado warning here, guys. Severe thunderstorm warnings are not meant to be ignored at this point here. Go ahead, here.
Yep. Again, just going over every single warning around the state right now here. So we have a warning out for Prairie County and White County. We have warning out for Faulkner, Van Buren, and Cleveland. We have a warning out for Saline and Garland counties. We have a warning out for Johnson, Franklin, Crawford, and Sebastian counties right now. And these are all separate storms across the state. And what's going to happen is, as you can see, we have a line of storms starting to form along I-40.
Yep.
And as this front slowly sags south, we're going to see a continuation of these start to form. Yeah.
We got a situation here right there on that I-30 corridor. You need to watch out from Traskwood to Benton. This severe thunderstorm contains very large hail across the area here. So this is going to come out of Saline County and Garland County. Just going to be moving towards I-30. So if anyone is traveling right now on I-30 going from the metro down to Benton, down towards Haskwood, Traskwood, and stuff like that, you need to watch out for some significant large hail with this storm coming out from the northwest here, okay? So, Jerry, if you do me a favor, I was going to say, you beat me to it.
Yep.
724 Benton, 736 Bauxite, and then 740 for the Bryant area here, guys. So there's the track of the storm right now. It's going to go right over Interstate 30 here. So I'm pulling it up on radar right now, man, and this is a significant hail core within this storm here. We're pulling up on radar about 2.5, almost 3 inch in diameter hail. You're talking about this size in hail, guys. So that's going to produce some damage to car windows, stuff like that, to cars and stuff like that. If you get wind thrown to it, you can break some windows. So watch that closely. If you're on I-30 right now, going from Haskell towards the Benton area right now here, you need to watch this storm very, very closely here. Right now, no tornado warning or anything like it, like right now, but you need to treat it with the same respect as you would as a tornado warning here, guys, because this is containing very large hail across the board here. Go ahead, you're good.
And again, I'm zoomed in on this storm, Cameron here. So again, this is what we call our hail tracker, and we look to see how big the hail is in the storm at any given time. And this is 2 inch hail right now, right along the just south of Highway 5 and just north of Highway 128. So this is tracking. This is mainly in rural areas of western Saline County, but this is moving towards the southeast, toward areas like Highway 70, Highway 67, I-30, a very well-traveled area. So anybody in Benton, if you still have time to get your vehicles or anything breakable, anything that could be of danger, including yourself, going inside and away from the danger of this hail. And this storm just went to considerable damage over the last scan.
I was going to say considerable damage is now expected with the storm here. So we're watching this situation closely, guys. As I mentioned before, there's Chief Forecaster Derek. I'm Assistant Chief Forecaster Cameron here. We're here to bring you guys live severe weather coverage across the board. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and we'll stop the radar for just a bit. And this is what we got at this current time here, okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 severe thunderstorm warnings. One of them in particular in Garland and Saline County is now considerable damage tag, means that you need to be getting inside immediately. This is a very busy evening for us here in Arkansas Weather Watchers. We're seeing a lot of people, commenting and stuff like that, tagging your friends, tagging your family. Thank you for that. Thank you guys for being here and stuff like that. Also, if you have any photos and videos, we're trying to get to those as quickly as possible as well here, but we're being kind of overloaded, so kind of keep that in mind here. So if you have questions or anything like that, bear with us for a little bit. When we get busy like this, questions won't be answered right out of the game, but we'll get to you at some point here. But if you're in Saline and also down going on I-30 from Benton to the metro, you need to watch that storm very closely here. There's a considerable damage tag with that for a particular reason, almost producing 3 inch in diameter hail. That's about this big in hail, and that can do some significant damage here. So if you're on 30 right now here, my recommendation, get to a gas station, go to, get somewhere where you can protect your car, and you don't want to be outside in this as well, because if you get hit 3 inch hail, it's not going to be pretty here. So keep that in mind here. Also, we got one storm there in Lone Oak right now, same area from earlier on, supercell producing about 1 inch hail with that. 60 mile per hour wind gusts here. So we're continuing to monitor the situation. As I mentioned before, I do appreciate you guys for being here and following along with us at this current point. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, so current radar is now picking up over 2.5 inch hail in this storm. So again, this is right over Highway 9 and Highway 5, where So as you're going west on 5 and then moving towards Hot Spring or south out of Perrin, this is exactly where this hail core is. This is quickly moving towards the southeast. Again, if you notice something, it's on the western edge of the storm.
Yep.
So now, theoretically speaking, if we did have a tornado threat this evening, this is also where at the base of this is where we would start looking for the rotation on this storm. But again, tornado threat is extremely low this evening.
Yep.
I've not seen anything that would tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I was going to say what even warrants it. So the biggest thing I said before, we're continuing to monitor the storm. We got another one over here. I know severe thunderstorm warning here that just went out. It's going to go from Newton and Johnson County until 7:30. I'll get the warning updater going for you down there. So if you're tuning in, by the way, you're trying to figure out what's going on here. This is a very cool feature that we have set up for you guys. Okay, so you see me and Derek on the camera. Take a look to our take a look to our right. Okay. That's going to be scrolling severe thunderstorm watches, severe thunderstorm warnings, power outage updates, and stuff like that. Next to that, at the bottom right corner of your screen, is going to be your futurecast. Your futurecast is going to tell you everything you need to know going forward, okay? And then above that is going to be current radar. So we're focusing on some certain areas. You can take a look at the broader screen and see the entire state's radar. So that's all the updates that we have for severe weather coverage here, okay? So kind of keep that in mind here. I'm obviously seeing the questions not as intense as they normally would be during severe weather, which is great. That means people are actually watching, and this upgrade is really helping you guys out. So just kind of keep that in mind here. But that warning updater is going to tell you everything you need to know about the ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings across the board here. But go ahead, Derek.
Yep. All right. So once again, so another hail core has developed on the storm just to the east of Rosebud.
Yeah.
And now this one is moving off towards the east about 20 miles an hour. Also, radar here is now picking up 2-inch hail as well with this storm. Not affecting a lot of big towns. Searcy and BB, you are okay with the storm. But if you live east of that, say areas around the Pangburn area and Latona, maybe on down the road towards Baldknob and Russell and Bradford, this storm is producing 2-inch hail. Now, as we head into the evening hours, I expect to see our hail threat actually go up a little bit because more cooler air aloft is starting to work into the atmosphere with our front, and our front that is going to be bringing our frost and our freeze as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, there's a lot of cold air coming down with this front, and what that's doing is that is bringing cold air aloft. So we don't have cold air at the surface yet, but we have plenty of it aloft, therefore making these storms very sufficient hail producers this evening. There's a lot of upper level rotation, but not so much at the surface, which is okay. I know many of us would take hail over a tornado any day of the week.
All right, guys.
We have a new warning as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just saw. I mean, we're getting some awesome photos here, guys. Not only on our Facebook and Twitter. This is a storm that was near the Faulkner and the White County area here, man. This is some beautiful structures with this. And I see Elizabeth's comment. I saw that one comment, guys. I want to stress to you guys, I know the photos and stuff, it looks nice on paper when it gets posted on the page, but don't put yourself in danger trying to get us photos, guys. If you can get it safely, that'd be the best thing. But if you're not safe, don't try to go outside and get the photos here, guys. Okay, be safe about it. Your safety comes first before anything else here. Okay, but we're getting some awesome photos here, guys, of the storms ongoing across the board here. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on the latest with that here. But go ahead, Derek, you're good.
So we have a new warning. This one is for mainly Lono County here, and this warning actually goes until 7:30 this evening. But once again, this storm only moving east at 10 miles an hour. 1-inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds with this storm. And this is for areas in Lono and Carlisle, and then of course obviously rural areas around a lot of farm land out here as well. And I know we are at the back end of our harvest season as well, so this couldn't come at a much better time in terms of affecting any crops around the state. But with that being said, we are in a drought. So there's another thing that we are starting to watch, and I know it's gonna be crazy, but within this severe thunderstorm watch, we also have the potential for excessive rainfall.
Yep.
This area, as we head into the overnight hours, we're going to be watching additional trending of storms overnight and into the daytime on Sunday.
Yep.
It's going to bring beneficial rain, but it could be a lot at one time, especially for some parts of the state. And we may be starting to talk about flooding. I know it's weird, I know it's crazy, but too much rain at one time can run off of really, really hard soil and create a flooding situation and not really soak into the ground. Will this be enough rain to get rid of our fire danger? No, it will not.
No.
Especially if you notice, we don't have much going on in northern Arkansas. We don't have much going on in southern Arkansas.
Right.
And that's really going to be the case through much of the evening. Our cold front is currently stalled right along the I-40 corridor, which is why this is where our severe thunderstorm watch is, which is also why our risk for hail is in this part of the state this evening.
Matter of fact, I can take a look at some guidance here. And one more thing is our power outages, and I'm just going to update this here shortly, just skyrocketed. Mainly over here in Crawford County. We are now up to over 2,400 customers without power at this current point. We'll have more information on that here in just a little bit. But that was another one of my concerns here, just when I was talking about it right around lunchtime, is your power outage threat being at its highest at this point. Because like Derek mentioned before, your trees and stuff like that are very brittle. It won't take much for them to go down here. So keep an eye on that. If you're tuning into this coverage here, make sure that you are keeping your phones charged. That way, in case of a power outage, then you can keep an eye on that and keep your phones charged. That way you can stay with us during severe weather coverage here. But right now, we're at 2,400 customers without power. We're 2,483 without power at this current time here. We also got other severe thunderstorm warnings right now here. Mainly right now, I think the strongest storm in the natural state is going to go to the Saline County storm down here that is still producing. It was producing 2 inches in hail. It's gone down to about 1.82 in diameter, which is still capable of producing some hail damage here, but it's not going to be warranted that considerable damage tag anymore. So people and animals outdoors will be injured. You need to get inside, guys. I cannot stress that enough. I know about the photos and stuff like that. We appreciate you guys so much for that, but don't put yourself at risk trying to get us some photos, guys. You can get photos either after the storm or you're far enough away from the storm to get us photos here, but do not put yourself at risk trying to do it for us, guys. Safety comes first whenever you're dealing with severe weather here. And also, I'm noticing over here in Sebastian County. Give me 1 second here. It's going to be Sebastian. Also over here towards southern Crawford County, we got a trending about thunderstorms coming out of eastern Oklahoma. We're going to have to watch that for a flooding threat. And I know, like Derek mentioned before, it sounds crazy, talking about a flood threat and you're in extreme drought. But if you get too much rainfall at once, that's where your potential of seeing rainfall could occur. And as a matter of fact, Derek, I'm gonna stop you for just a bit. We just got we just got a wind gust report of 60 miles per hour in Barling, Arkansas, which is in Sebastian County, which is just southeast of downtown Fort Smith at this point. But this is producing 60 mile per hour winds at this current time here. It's going to go into Sebastian County. Also, you're going to hear thunder from time to time here in the weather center. We've got a lot going on at this current point here. But go ahead, Derek, you can take back over.
All right, so once again, just going over everything. Currently, we have at least 7 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board across the state right now, and we're going to go over every single one of them.
Yep.
So we have Crawford, Sebastian, Franklin County until 7:30 this evening. Then we have Johnson and Franklin, Madison and Newton County until 7:30 this evening. We also have Faulkner, Searcy, and Faulkner, White, and Cleveland County until 7:15 this evening. This one is mainly a hailstorm. Yep. Then the main one we are currently watching, Saline County, very eastern Garland County, and this is approaching the Benton and Bryant area. 2-inch hail demonstrate considerable. Also winds up to 60 miles an hour with this storm. Also, we have Lonoke County until 7:30 this evening, and this goes for 1-inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds as well. Again, not only that, but we also have our severe thunderstorm watch, and this goes until 11 p.m. this evening. Max hail up to 2-inch, max winds up to 70 miles per hour. And the reason why the winds are so high, as we transition into the evening later into the evening hours, we're going to be going from a hail threat to a damaging wind threat. And basically, it's going to be similar to what we talked about during MCS season, or what we call a mesoconvective system season. We're going to have a line of storms that is going to push from Oklahoma along the front and down the front, and that is going to bring winds across the central third of the state. Now, with that being said, how much rain is going to fall? I know everybody's worried about how much rain is going to fall. Right now, average is going to be mainly around a quarter to a half an inch, but some areas could pick up an inch to 2 inches of rainfall in very isolated spots, especially where these storms train over the same areas. And this storm this storm down here in Saline County especially has transitioned or has moved from Yell County to Perry County and to Saline County. And this started really what came back in the first quarter of the Razorback game.
Definitely.
So around 3 or 3:30 this afternoon, slowly pushed towards southeast. These storms are not moving fast at all, which is making them great hail producers as well as extreme good rain producers as well. Also, if our crew can get in our comment section, we have a lot of spam going out in the comments right now. But once again, our hail threat is elevated this evening. Damage and wind threat elevated this evening. Flood threat is low to an extent, and of course our tornado threat is extremely low, but again not zero. I don't see anything that screams to me a tornado risk. But again, it's Arkansas, and we're going to be watching all evening long as conditions warrant here this evening.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to say that tornado threat is going to be, and I mentioned this in the live stream before, and I know whenever you're talking about severe weather, that's the number one thing people kind of worry about is the heavy rainfall, not heavy rainfall threat, the tornado threat and stuff like that, which is very understandable. I'm not sitting here and saying you shouldn't be worried about it, but the tornado threat with this particular setup, it's going to be extremely hard to nearly impossible to get a tornado sounding with this here, guys. Okay, but just kind of keep that in mind across the board here. Okay, so let me take a look. I'm taking a look at the comments here, guys. Before, keep it respectable. We got moderators in here. We're not gonna tolerate it here, guys. Everybody needs to be an adult. Be respectful in these comments here. I'm not seeing any problems right now, but just keep that in mind across the board here. And also questions, we're getting a lot of questions in. We're trying to get to them as quickly as possible, but it's not going to be anytime soon here with everybody kind of asking the same thing over and over again. Okay, so right now, severe thunderstorm warnings, a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 severe thunderstorm warnings across the board. One is a special weather statement that's going to go for Perry, Conway, Yell, and Polk County. It's going to go until 7:15 here. These severe thunderstorm warnings before mainly hail producers, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. We've gotten power outages. We got 2,400 people without power right now. I'm expecting that number to climb. And I'm taking a look at guidance over here as well, and I'm noticing a training of storms between Fort Smith down the River Valley, down to the metro, where it's wanting to produce about a good inch to 2 inches of rainfall over a small period of time. So like Derek mentioned before, the flooding threat is low to an extent. We just got to watch out for heavy rainfall occurring over a certain period of time, because if you get too much at once, that can result in flash flooding across the board here. But something that we're just going to watch very closely at this current point here. But as I said before, guys, we're trying to get to everybody as quickly as possible. You guys are seeing some awesome photos and awesome videos in the inboxes here. We're trying to get to everybody as quickly as we can. But at this point here, just remain patient with us, guys, and keep it tuned with us here. Somebody needs information, tag them in this live stream at this current point here. Go ahead here.
And Cameron, I have put our radar in motion here over the last hour and a half, and you can really see the beginning of what looks to be a training line of storms moving now basically out of Oklahoma across Fort Smith, now starting to form from the metro to the northwest as well, and also starting to watch these storms here across eastern parts of the state beginning to really start and pick up in intensity as well. So once again, as we go throughout the evening hour, this will transition into a damaging wind threat. Then eventually will transition to more of a heavy rain threat as we start to lose our daytime heating. Again, we got up to 85, 90 today, folks. So this was really expected. Wednesday, we had a lot of question marks as to what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But this evening was definitely a much more confident scenario in seeing that the potential for at least isolated severe weather across state, and really this is well worthy of a slight risk this evening.
Definitely, I fully agree with that here, guys. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot in the comments here. I do appreciate you guys for being here and stuff like that here. We're going to take a look at the power outages real quickly. Right now we're still sitting, okay, so matter of fact, okay, so now it's up to almost 3,000 people without power. Yell County coming in, and also Crawford County. Crawford's coming in at 809 without power. We've got Yell County about 228. So this is what I was fearing. These power outages are now starting to increase across the board. It's going to be updated here shortly at the bottom corner of your screen here, guys. But I'm going to get you a kind of a restoration time per energy here. We can take a look at that real quick. So right now, I would say it's probably going to be between, okay, there it is right there. Okay, so let's take a look at that real fast. And this is going to be right around, okay, most of them are about 9, 10 o'clock tonight. Some of them are going to be trying to get to as quickly as possible here. We've got a couple coming in southern Saline County as well. We got a few of them up here in Faulkner County with some of these storms earlier on. But right now, as I said before, we are sitting at about 2,858 customers without power at this point. We're going to work on getting you guys an energy storage time at this current point here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, so once again, we're getting a lot of questions about other parts of the state right now. Once again, folks, the main area of concern this evening is going to be within this yellow box.
Yeah,
this is where your highest severe threat is this evening. This is where the greatest threat for hail and damaging winds is this evening. This is also where your greatest threat to see potentially very heavy rainfall is going to be, at least from now through, say, late evening this evening. And then, of course, as we head into the daytime on Sunday, we also have all this coming out of Oklahoma that's going to eventually form and move east as well. So once again, we have a lot going on here and a lot to come. Again, this is really our first real good chance of rainfall across the state that we've seen in a little bit, at least for some of us. Yep. And again, probably the only chance we really see for the next 7 to 10 days as well. But again, if you're just tuning in, tornado threats are extremely low, but severe thunderstorm warnings, especially when they are producing damaging hail, require at least a live cut-in so we can go over it and keep you up to date with the latest information.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. So as I said before, we're watching the situation closely and taking a look at guidance over here. And that's what I was saying before, earlier on this morning here. We don't just break in for just tornado warning coverage and stuff like that. We're not one-dimensional. We do go in for severe thunderstorm warnings as well, because they do need to be treated with the same respect as tornado warnings here, guys. And I believe the HR is doing a pretty wonderful job of what to do with radar. I think it was a little late this time around. Storm started going up about 2-3 hours earlier than expected. But what it wants to do is kind of similar to what we're seeing right now, a trading of showers and thunderstorms across central Arkansas, from Fort Smith down I-40 down to Russellville to Little Rock down towards the Benton area once again. Just kind of centering a trading area right here in central Arkansas. Then what it does is similar to what you see on your futurecast at the bottom right corner of your screen. You can see how the explosion of thunderstorms kind of take place across North Arkansas later on this evening and into the overnight hours tonight here. So anybody that's needing timing information, futurecast, stuff like that, take a look at the bottom right corner of your screen. This is why we have all these updates, guys, okay? All that information is at the bottom right corner of your screen. Tilt your phone over and you can take a look at that. You can take a look at the current warnings and also the power outages up there on the right side of your screen here. So please keep that in mind, especially for those that have specific county and city questions at this current point here. Go ahead, Jerry. Also, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning over here in western Arkansas. It's going to go for, I believe, Crawford and Sebastian counties over here until 8 o'clock. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, $half size tail with this storm. And that's going to include downtown Fort Smith. If you want to talk about that, there, go ahead.
All right, so what we're going to do, let's go over here to our Fort Smith area here. And just to mention, again, we have a lot of storms in one small area.
Yeah.
My concern is that the flooding threat is going to rapidly increase here across the Fort Smith area over the next hour or so as these storms continue to form and train over the same area. But again, this hail core is moving out of Oklahoma into Fort Smith. Again, there's no real direction with these storms. You can see some are moving east, some are moving northeast, some are moving southeast, some are moving. It's a low steering current pattern that we're in. The calendar says fall, but the atmosphere is still kind of stuck in summer, as our jet stream is still well north of the region, and will be, here for a little while longer. Again, things are transitioning kind of weird this fall, but it's Arkansas and anything is possible. But once again, Smith after morning, as Cameron mentioned, until 8 p.m. This evening. This goes for the Fort Smith area. Mainly 1.25 inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. Again, the main hail core is currently in between Pensacola and Callington, Oklahoma. This is going to move northeast, right in between Fort Smith here and the western border over the next hour or so. And then, of course, again, we have folks from Mansfield to Greenwood, up to Alma, who have really been dealing with a lot of rain and hail over the last hour, and it continues into this evening, and will continue moving off towards the east here, northeast at around 10 to 20 miles an hour.
Definitely. So, as I said before, for those that are asking about certain cities and certain counties and stuff like that, take a look at the bottom right corner of your screen. I'm going to pause this coverage just for a second for those that are asking about the cities and stuff. We have a future cast at the bottom right corner for a reason. This is why we have that. That way it kind of mitigates the questions for cities and stuff like that, so you can kind of see what to expect down the road here. And you can see in the future cast, similar to earlier, severe thunderstorms across central Arkansas, and then it spreads northward overnight, and it starts coming down into the central and southern portions of the state later on tonight into the early part of your tomorrow morning here. So please keep that in mind. Take a look at that. Watch it for a couple of seconds here. You'll get an idea on what to expect throughout the evening into the overnight hours. Also, if you're wondering about the entire state, take a look above that on the right side. There's a statewide radar. The pink box is the severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock. The yellow boxes are going to be the severe thunderstorm warnings that are ongoing at this current point. Mentioned before, we're kind of updating a bunch of stuff right now. We'll have all that information for you coming up here in just a little bit. Go ahead there.
All right. So once again, widespread is better than a line of storms, and the reason being is because a little bit spread out like this, it does reduce your damage and wind threat over a large area. But what it does is it also, now if we were talking about if we had a little bit more shear, I would be very concerned about a tornado threat this evening because of how scattered out these storms are. But because we have low shear, we're not really worried about a tornado threat this evening. But our damaging wind threat is going to increase, especially with this area of storms moving out of the Fort Smith area that will very slowly move across the state over the next couple of hours.
Yeah, and I'm getting some awesome photos here, guys. Golf ball size hail being reported earlier on this evening in Austin. Severe thunderstorm warning, as we mentioned before, over there in western Arkansas. At this point, we're getting a lot of photos into our Twitter at this point. So what you're looking at right now, guys, is a true hailstorm here in Arkansas. This is what we have. We have a boundary kind of moving in, northwest flow aloft. I mentioned before, we just don't have enough shear at the low levels to support a tornado threat. If we had that shear at the low levels, we'd probably be covering a lot of tornado warnings right now because of how scattered these storms are in nature. But right now, we don't have low-level shear in place. So basically what that means is all your rotation is going on in the mid-levels. That's why you're getting all that hail being brought down to the surface at this point. So right now, I'm not really worried about a tornado threat. I'm really worried about the hail and the wind threat and the power outage potential with these storms here at this current point here. Go ahead there.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at different hail sizes from each storm around the state. So some good news is here for our folks in Saline County, that hail core has started to really come down as the storm has stalled out actually over the last 5 or 10 minutes. Still northwest of Benton, but again, Benton is getting some very beneficial rains right now. But in terms of the overall hail threat, the hail size does seem to be decreasing just that. We have very large hail core with the storm just to the north of Searcy around 2-inch hail with that storm there. We have about 1-inch hail with the storm over Lono County. We still have 1-inch hail with the storm over Saline County as well. And then, of course, we also
take a look at here real quick here. I'm getting also we got some report. Oh man, look at this. This is coming out of the Fort Smith area here. This is on Twitter, by the way. This is from Aaron Littlefield, and I'm gonna see if I can get this kind of brought up a little bit. And there it is, guys. I mean, this is Derek. You turn around for just a bit.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, this is a true hailstorm over here in Fort Smith right now. Here, this is a significant amount of hail. I'd be honest with you. If this was in January or February, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between hail or a sleet storm over there. But this is accumulating hail right now in Fort Smith at this point. This is coming from I believe it was Aaron Littlefield over here, and I should take that back. It wasn't from Aaron. It was from Riley Farms over here in Fort Smith at this current point here. I'm going to retweet this on our Twitter. If you want to go check that out, it's going to be on our Twitter page at this current time here. Okay, but incredible. I mean, incredible hail reports coming out here at this point here, this time here. Okay, so let me see here. This is Cartersville. Getting a lot of pictures in, guys. I do appreciate you guys for sending these photos in. If y'all can be safe about doing it, I really would appreciate it. See here, hail covering the ground. That's going to be in Greenbrier, west of Greenbrier, excuse me, between Booster and the Damascus area over here. And as mentioned before, right now we're just kind of in limbo. We got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings at the point. We're still monitoring a few storms. We're still monitoring the one down here in Saline and Saline County.
And that hail core has come way down.
Yeah, it's come way down from what it was before. I wouldn't be shocked if that severe thunderstorm warning ends up being canceled before too much longer, including southeast at about 20 miles per hour here. Okay, so if we get these severe thunderstorm warnings off the board, and we can kind of tackle some questions here at this current point here. Okay, so Russellville right now, you're kind of sitting pretty good and high dry right now. You got a few storms coming out from your southwest. We're going to watch these storms closely. The Johnson County area, there's a hail producer going into southern Newton County. We've got a couple at 7-4 over here in Fort Smith and Greenwood. That's going to be the area that we're very concerned about right now for the hail potential and the wind potential at this current point. So that's Crawford and Sebastian counties right now, and also the flooding threat. I would not be shocked probably within the next 20-30 minutes if you see a flash flood warning go out for Crawford and Sebastian counties over here, just because of the training of thunderstorms ongoing at this current point.
So just once again, let's go over each and every warning around the state. So once again, so now the strongest hail core really resides up here between Pangburn and the Latona area, just north of Searcy. And this storm right here has really increased in its intensity over the last really 15 or 20 minutes or so. Still producing roughly, and we just had a new warning go out for this storm as well. Mostly 1-inch hail right now. Would not be shocked to see that come up in the next scan or two as we try to get a good read on this storm. Again, winds are not really a big threat with this storm, but the hail is. And this now includes parts of Jackson County.
Yeah,
and
Independence until 7:45. I just saw it pop up on our alert screen back here. The updates we did over the summer is just ridiculous. I mean, we've got so many things kind of off screen of what's going on right now. It's not even funny here. So we've got like an alert screen over here. We've got radar up. I'm getting your photos and stuff in at this point. We're getting a lot of messages, by the way. I want to kind of make this like a message to everybody that's sending us the thank yous. Thank y'all, because this would not be possible if it wasn't for y'all. So that's a big thank you to you guys, and thank y'all for tuning in at this point here. Just kind of getting to everybody that's sending us the thank yous right now here. But yeah, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning for Claiborne, Jackson, and Independence County until Claiborne White, Jackson, and Independence County until 7:45 this evening at this current point. Go ahead.
And so once again, here's the latest track on the storm. So Pangburn and Latona, you just had really large hail come through or just near you, and this is going to actually move off towards the northeast here at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. This is going to track mainly over rural areas of White County, and then of course obviously parts of Jackson County and Independence County, moving out of Greenbrier County. But this is going to move towards Bradford area, and then of course obviously on up towards the Newport area here over the next 30 to 45 minutes as well. Again, if you've not seen rain yet, don't be shocked if again, here's the thing, I want to reiterate this. North Arkansas, yours is going to come later this evening.
Yep.
South Arkansas, yours will be more tomorrow.
Yep.
And the reason being, because of that, is your front is very slowly moving south. You're basically going from a summer pattern to a not quite winter, but close enough, because it's going to be in the 50s and 20s and 30s on Tuesday. So, that being said, you have that transition, but to get that transition, we still have high pressure to our south that is breaking the front from really moving much at all. Our flow is very, very, very soft. Is basically not soft. Slow is what I call it right now. But if you don't want tornadoes, you want low flow, because you'll still get storms and rain, but you won't get a major tornado threat, and we are not expecting any out of this this evening.
Now, I will say this, in terms of that, and I'm not talking about this event, I would keep a very close eye. We're going to have a vlog on this, by the way, probably at some point this upcoming week. We're going to have a major cool down Tuesday and Wednesday, frost and freeze potential. My first warning to you guys, by the way, if you're tuning in, you got plants and stuff outside, I'd probably go ahead and bring them in late tomorrow. By the way, we just got a new warning up there, considerable damage up there now. We'll get back to that in just a bit. But if you have plants and stuff outside, I'd go ahead and bring them in tomorrow night or Monday. Freeze is likely across much of northern and even portions of central Arkansas. Temperatures are going to warm up by the end of the week, and we're going to have to watch for a severe threat late next weekend into the following week. We'll have more information on that coming up in this upcoming week with blogs and stuff like that.
Wow.
Your live sits.
Wow.
But go ahead. Oh man. Okay, I'll read that warning out at this point here. Okay, so this is going to be for Go ahead.
Radar estimated, folks. This is live on the Arkansas Weather Watchers Doppler. Radar estimated 4-inch hail. This is in northern Johnson County right now, just north of Clarksville. So Clarksville is right here.
Okay, so
just north of Clarksville.
Yeah, thunderstorm threat considerable. This is going to go for Searcy, Newton, Johnson, and Polk County until 8:15. Severe thunderstorm near Devil's Knob, or 16 miles north of Clarksville, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Main threat, golf ball sized hail with that storm here, and it's moving at 7-4, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So we're going to watch that closely at this current point here.
Alright, so that right there tells me everything I need to know. The storm is starting to speed up. That means you're starting to get your low-level jet coming in. That means that you're going to start seeing.
If there were to be a tornado threat out of any of these storms, it's right now until 10 o'clock.
Yep.
That'll be your best shot. If there's any sort of tornado threat to come out of this at all, it's going to be on that. Derek, and I just mentioned a second ago about the flood threat. We now have a flood advisory for portions of Crawford, Sebastian, and LaFord counties, which is in Oklahoma, due to heavy rainfall from the earlier thunderstorms here. Okay, so the flood advisory is going to go until 10:30 this evening. It's going to go for Sebastian and Crawford counties in Arkansas, LaFord and Sequoia counties, which is in eastern Oklahoma at this point. So remember, turn around and do not drown at this current time here. And so forth, there's a flooding threat starting to be realized across the area. The severe thunderstorm warning has also been expired over there in Lonoke County as well here, Dan. But I just want to make that clear. We have a flood advisory over there at western Arkansas at this current point here. But definitely watching the storm up there, going into Newton County, and also coming out of Johnson County at this point here. That's going to be producing your significant hail potential out of that. Go ahead there.
All right. So once again, folks, if you and again, this is moving into mainly rural areas here of the Ozark Mountains. Again, there's a lot of camp. What my concern is here,
there's a lot of people camping.
There's a lot of campgrounds up here between Marshall and Western Grove. This is the Buffalo River area. So, again, if you know somebody who's camping up here in Searcy County, parts of Newton County, call them, let them know, hey, there's a hailstorm coming in. Folks, I know I'm seeing comments like, oh, it's just storms and hail. It's not that big of a deal. You have 3 to 4 inch hail coming through. It can cause just as much damage.
So I'll take that there. Don't even waste your breath.
So once again, you know, considerable damage means damage to rooftops, damage to windows, damage to cars, damage to anything. It's very similar. And again, if you get winds with this, you have what is called wind-driven hail. We've seen damage from this, especially in the plains. We've seen damage from this while we chase, and we've actually had a storm that was 10 miles away from us, fleeing hail into our car in broad sunlight. So we've seen it happen, folks. We're not just on air to blow off steam. We are on air to keep you ahead of a legit threat. Hail can do damage just as much as winds, just as much as tornado.
Yeah.
May not cause your tree to fall or your roof to come off your house, but it's still life-threatening, especially when you start to come out 2, 3, 4 inch hail, especially on the radar. Again, 4 inch on the radar, 1.75 1.75 observed hail, but again, that's more enough for me. And the National Weather Service has since warranted a considerable damage threat here for our folks in Newton, very southwestern Searcy, northern Pope, and northern Johnson County.
Yeah, I was going to say that's for the Jasper area, by the way. I saw a comment about someone not being able to hear me. I'm back here doing the media stuff. He's taking care of the radar, so I'm just kind of like I'm in and out at this point. But just right now, 7-4. Considerable damage tag up there in northern Arkansas. We're watching it close. One thing I want to stress to you guys right now while I have everybody here, keep the comments respectable. This is my only warning to you guys. We've got 2 moderators on the page. I'm taking a look at the comments as well. We haven't had a problem, which is great news, but please keep it respectable at this current point here, okay? Because of the fact that if you don't, I'm just gonna block you, be done with it. All right, we're not on air to do this. We're on air because of the fact that these are producing, as you can see, considerable damage at this point here. And I'm pretty sure there's someone out there that would like this information here. So if you don't like us doing this coverage, stuff like that, feel free to leave. Okay, but right now this is what we got going on across the board here. Okay, you don't need a tornado warning to take severe weather seriously. Considerable damage, severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warnings themselves can do just as much damage as dealing with a tornado at this current point. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, folks. So once again, we are actually losing. So basically, right now, we currently have 3 warnings in the state now, and that's it. White County, Jackson, Independence, Crawford, and Sebastian, and then of course our big one right here. And so we're going to go over each and every one once again here. So once again, severe thunderstorm warning here for Crawford and Sebastian counties until 8 p.m. This evening. Moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. This also includes a flood advisory for the areas around Fort Smith as well.
Yeah, definitely.
We also have our folks over here in White County. This is now moving east to 28 miles an hour. 1 1/4 inch hail, 60 mile an hour wind. This is just north of Searcy, and I mean just north of Searcy. Again, this is moving into a lot of farm fields up here in northeast Arkansas. And then of course we have our main storm that we are watching, our damage threat considerable storm, and this is moving off towards the northeast here at 33 miles an hour. This is going to be moving into southern Newton County and getting very close to the Buffalo River campgrounds here in about an hour or so. So again, we do have other storms around the state. They are no longer as severe or no longer severe, but we are continuing to watch all these storms close.
Right. We just got a new update for that one up there in Newton County and also Johnson County. It is now producing tennis ball sized hail with that storm here. It's moving northeast at 30 miles per hour here. So if you need anybody, if you know anyone over here in Newton County and also over here towards Johnson and Polk County, they need to be getting inside immediately, guys. This is producing tennis ball sized hail with this storm here, okay? So please keep that in mind. These are non-tornadic in nature, okay? But these are producing significant amounts of hail across the year. This is going to track, I believe, right there. As a matter of fact, based on the trajectory of that warning, looks like it's going to go right towards Highway 65, which is going to be Marshall, the Leslie area over there, Saline County. You're going to have to watch that close. But right there, you can see, man, look at there. That is maxing out our scale. That is 5-inch hail, radar indicated, being detected with that storm here. That kind of hail can do some serious damage to cars, and it can even take out some people and also animals that are outside here, okay? So you need to be seeking shelter immediately. That is 5-inch hail. That is ridiculous. Derek, you do me a favor. Hit Alt-L, and we can pull up some roads at this point. So, I was going to say, you might want to take out of that for just a bit, and it should pull it up here. Okay, so that's Highway 21. It's just going to go right over 21 at this point. And you can see at this time here, let's see if we can go over to that severe thunderstorm warning at this point. But yeah, that's Highway 21 over here. That's County Road 26. That's right there on 14, 18. These roads, these are basically
a lot of county roads, a lot
county
of rural
roads.
areas.
Yeah.
But this is going to be crossing State Highway 21 here very shortly. Again, folks, this is 5-inch hail. So if you live along State Highway 21, this is a very, very, very dangerous storm in terms of the hail size with this storm. And so this is going to be moving. This is moving towards the northeast. So if you live on County Road 26, County Road 65, a lot of back roads. State Highway 16. Let's zoom this out here a little bit. Highway 7 is right here. Highway 16 is right here. Highway 21. This is mountainous terrain here in northern Arkansas. But again, our hail size is pretty significant with the storm. Let me go back to the hail size once again. 5-inch hail. This is 5-inch hail. Potentially radar estimated 5-inch hail.
Yeah, radar
minimum. I'm starting to see at least 2-inch hail reports on the ground. This is moving towards the northeast. This is going to move towards the northeastern. So this is moving into Newton County here very, very soon. And a sharp turn could take it closer towards Highway 7, over towards Hector, and places like that. So let's zoom out again. Take this back out. Now, we're talking about areas, say Marshall. If you live in Marshall area, this is going to be moving towards you here in the next hour or so. The thinking, now keep in mind, mention what I just said. As we get into the evening, more cold air aloft is coming down. And across northern Arkansas, nothing, atmosphere has been untouched. So the storms have ample amount to work with as we go through the evening hours here.
Let's see here. Just double checking everything. By the way, I know that warning, by the way, is for 2.5 inch diameter hail. The problem is the radar indicated is showing upwards to 4 to 5 inches of hail. So it's warned for tennis ball size hail, which is 2.5, but radar indicated is saying a different story here. So obviously you can't take radar indicated here. You have to go off of reports and stuff like that. But regardless, that is considerable damage tag going into Newton County here. That's just south of Jasper. So you need to watch that situation closely at this current point. That warning is going to go until 8:15, by the way. The warning over here in Independence, Jackson, Cleburne, and White County is going to go until 7:45 this evening here. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning in, by the way. And I know there's a lot of people saying there's nothing on TV about it. This is why we're here. And I know, and this is what we talk about so much, is the majority of the time, people break in for coverage, and it's just severe thunder, not just severe thunder, it's tornado warnings. And when it's just tornado warnings, there's no tornado warnings going on, there's no TV coverage, there's nothing like that going on. That's why we're here. That's why we keep you guys updated on the latest here at this current point. So that storm going into Newton County needs to be watched very, very closely here. As a matter of fact, when you get done with that one, Derek, let's take a look over there at the Greenwood storm. That one over there in Greenwood, Stephanie, I see your comment. The one in Greenwood, that severe thunderstorm warning earlier was canceled, but it still remains in effect for southwestern Crawford, northwestern Sebastian until 8 o'clock, and you have a flood advisory to go along with that as well. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, $half size hail with that storm here. We're going to have to watch that closely. Sarah, thank you so much. Marshall has now been alerted. Thank you so much for that. Anybody on 65 right now needs to watch that storm closely. It's considerable damage for a reason. But right there on 65 going into Saline County, I definitely watch that very, very closely here. Great call, by the way, alerting your fans, your family and friends over there in the Marshall area. That's what we want to see at this current point here. But
right.
now, go ahead there.
All right, so just to give y'all a little update on this storm here, on this line of storms here in the Fort Smith and Greenwood area. So it's not moved much over the last hour or so. It's going to continue to not move much over the next hour or so. Again, folks like Alma, Charleston, Dyer, Boonville towards A10, Mountainburg towards A12, over towards Magazine. Again, not moving very fast, 15 to 20 miles an hour, and that's about it, really. And again, this is mostly a heavy rain and hail producer now. This storm coming out of Oklahoma into Fort Smith has been absorbed into the one to the east. So the hail threat from that storm really resides more around the Greenwood area more than it does, say, around the Fort Smith area.
Yep, I agree. But as I said before, that's going to go, those two warnings are going to go until 8 o'clock this evening.
Let's go
over there in Western Arkansas.
Let's go back to our one here coming into Newton County here.
Yeah, that was the most impressive one on radar right now. Here's the one coming into Newton County. That one's producing this significant hail at this point here. Now, like I said before, Sarah, I do appreciate you doing that earlier on. If you know anyone on 65, I hope everybody can hear me, by the way. I'm kind of sitting in the back, by the way. I know he's kind of blocking the screen. Thank you, Sarah, for doing that. I'm seeing a lot of comments coming in. I'm seeing a lot of photos, videos. Once we get these warnings off the board, then we'll start posting that on the page and all the other stuff. I just want to say thank you guys for doing this, by the way. If you can do it safely, let me know, and let us know and stuff like that. Right there on 65, Marshall, Western Grove. I think it's going to say south of Western Grove, but I would be definitely worried about that Marshall area at this point here. Right there on 65, just kind of watch that close. Radar indicated still about 4 to 5 inches of hail with that. Obviously, in step 4, there's going to be some melting with that, but still producing a significant amount of hail with that storm here. Go ahead, Derek. Take a look. Derek, do me a favor real quick. Take a look at your velocity scan as well. With that storm here. It's not the most impressive on radar, but just kind of watch it very closely here because it could try to do something. Okay, all right, Derek. Okay, we got a new situation. This is now a destructive storm tag with this. Okay, so it will change here in just a little bit. But we got a new update from the National Weather Service in Little Rock here. So severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 8:15 for southwestern Searcy, southeastern Newton, northeastern Johnson, and north central Polk County. A severe thunderstorm was located near Devil's Knob, or 19 miles north of Clarksville, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. This is a destructive storm for Devil's Knob. Baseball-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this storm here, okay? This is now going to be producing upwards to 3-inch in diameter hail, okay?
There's the radar confirmation.
Seek shelter immediately at this point. This includes Jasper, Devil's Knob, Walnut, also Gum Springs in Newton County, Halt Creek Falls Campground. There's some campgrounds up here, by the way. Mineral Springs over here, Fort Douglas, and also Fallsville. You need to be taking your tornado precautions. Well, technically you can because you're getting away from the windows and you're getting away from the exterior walls here, okay? But you do not want to be outside in this. This is going to it's going to show up here just a little bit. A destructive storm now for the Devil's Knob area up here in Newton County at this current point here. Go ahead, there. Newton and Searcy County. Go ahead.
All right, we also while we're waiting on that one to update, we do have a new warning now, Cameron. This one just west of the metro.
Yeah.
As well. And this storm is moving off towards the east here again, 15 to 20 miles per hour. But again, starting to see pretty intense hail core with this storm as well now. And this is currently just to the west of Highway 9 once again in Saline County. So this is going to move off towards the east here at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Let's go and take a track on this storm as well. Again, where the heaviest of the hail core is, moving off about 20 miles an hour. Going to stay mainly in rural areas of Saline and western Pulaski counties over the next really hour or so. But we're going to keep on watching that storm as well. And then, of course, obviously, we still have one up here in White County.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our main hail threat up here in Newton County. Latest radar scan is not as intense as it was but we continue to watch this storm as well.
Definitely. So
there it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll update here just a little bit, but definitely
right there. There's a new, and this is our
there it is right there. Yep, destructive storm right now here in 7-4. That's what we got at this point here. And that's gonna change at the bottom of your screen here just shortly. But that's gonna go for Searcy, Newton County, and also Johnson County and Polk County until 8:15 this evening here. You need to be you need to be getting inside immediately at this current point here. I cannot stress that enough at this current time here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right. So once again, folks. So this storm here. So basically, you're seeing this, and this is just part of the updates that we've had over the summertime. So again, treat this as if you would a tornado warning. This is a high-end severe thunderstorm warning. Well, what this is. So again, get away from the windows. Get anything. Basically, get away from the windows. Just center part of your house. Just stay away because 60 mile an hour winds and upwards of a 3-inch hail can produce damage and can be flung into a house with a little or no warning, especially through a window. Yep. If you're camping up here, there's a lot of campgrounds up here in this area. You need to call your family and let them know, hey, this storm has hail. You need to take shelter now. And again, if you're camping, there's not many places to take shelter, but you should be able to find somewhere to take shelter, especially up here. Again, if you live in Marshall and Western Grove, you need to be watching this storm very, very closely as it continues moving off towards the northeast here at about, say, 15 to 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this here in just a second. We're getting a lot of new information coming in. So power outages still sit about 2,600 right now. I'm going to take a look here. We're kind of looking at this is our tweet deck right now. But yeah, destructive storm for the Jack. No, take that back. Hold on, not Jackson. Go over here real fast.
Johnson, Newton, and Pope.
Yeah. Johnson, Newton, Pope over here. Let's see if I can click on this real fast here. Okay, it's going to go for Searcy as well until 8:15 this evening here, producing baseball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this storm here. Now, I said before, the latest scans are not as impressive with this, but you still need to treat this as what we call a level 2 severe thunderstorm warning. With this storm here, it's going to go towards Searcy County and also in Newton County at this point. You need to be getting inside immediately if you can. If you're on 65 right now, find a gas station, find something to protect your car. If you're at home right now, find something to kind of cover your car or put your car in a carport or something like that. That way you guys can, that way we can watch this situation very closely at this current point here. But if you're on 65 right now, you need to watch that situation very, very closely here at this current point here. Go ahead, Derek.
Alright, so, okay, just going through the... Alright, so once again, really we have 2 warnings in the state now.
Yeah.
And okay, let's go down to the storm here, Cameron, in Saline County and Western Blast County. This storm is now producing 3-inch hail.
Okay.
So now we have another storm that is producing 3-inch hail. Again, this is currently over Mount Ida Road, basically far western areas here of Pulaski and Saline County. Let's take a look at our hail size on this storm as well. Again, we're seeing roughly about 2-inch hail with this storm here. This is just west of Highway 9. Perrin is right here. It's moving off towards the east here at about, again, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Not very fast at all. So let's put a track on this hail core that is going to be moving towards the east here at about 20 miles an hour.
All right, give me 1 second.
So
Okay,
this is going to stay mainly in rural areas of Saline and Pulaski County. Perrin towards Ferndale in the near future. Again, moving off towards the east here at 20 miles per hour.
Okay, so far we're getting some awesome photos here, guys. We're going to kind of take a look at everything at this point here. Right now, nothing much in terms of reports, which is great news. Getting a lot of wind and hail being reported over there in the Conway area, getting dark and stuff like that here. We'll take a look at everything at this point. Take a look at radar right now. And I said before, guys, I know a lot of people are kind of, disappointed and stuff like that because they need the rainfall. This is going to increase in coverage tonight. Okay, I want to stress that. This is going to increase in coverage. This is following kind of what we expected. Severe thunderstorm is going to go up from that 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. time frame. Beyond 10 o'clock, you'll start seeing some more thunderstorms kind of get going, especially across North Arkansas. So we'll watch the situation closely. Derek, I would keep an eye on that storm in Saline and Saline County. I see exactly what you're talking about with that hail potential here. Right now, I've got about 2-inch hail being detected with that storm here. As a matter of fact, based off the trajectory of that storm here, that would probably be getting ready to come over the weather center. We'll have to watch that closely over time. And also, one more thing, guys, we do lose, if we do have a storm come over and we lose power temporarily, we do have a weather center generator, so that way you guys aren't losing coverage. Okay, so keep that in mind here. We lose power, we do have a generator that will back up the power and stuff like that, so we'll have endless coverage now instead of what we dealt with back in the summer when we were losing a lot of power here. So keep that in mind across the area here. Go ahead.
Yep.
What you seeing?
All right. So once again, folks, you know, we're getting questioned about the campgrounds in the path of this destructive storm. Again, this does include the Hall Creek Falls campground, the Mineral Springs, very recreation area, the Devil's Knob area. Again, this is south of Jasper. This is going to be south of Jasper. Again, our Buffalo campgrounds are along Highway 65. So you are safe for now, but you need to be alert. The storm is moving off the front.
Yep.
It's moving into a little bit more stable environment. So, but that being said, do not let your guard down with this storm. This is a very destructive storm with at least baseball-sized hail. And also now, Cameron, I'm watching to our west over in Oklahoma. Our main line of storms that's going to come through, the MCS, is now under a severe thunderstorm watch, and that's going to be moving east overnight.
Okay. All right. That's what we're watching very closely here, guys. And that's simple. That's going to be your overnight threat. That's something that you're just going to have to watch over there in North Arkansas. And I'm seeing a lot of comments about is this going to produce severe weather throughout the overnight hours, stuff like that. That's going to be a no, because you're going to lose your daytime heating over here, okay?
Yep.
You're also getting considerable damage tags over there in Oklahoma as well here. I believe the estimate thunderstorm goes until 2 a.m. over there.
This is the thunderstorm watch.
Yeah, severe thunderstorm watch goes until 2 a.m. over there in central and western Oklahoma. So just have to watch that close.
Yep.
At this point, Derek, I believe they have dropped the destructive tag off of that storm here. It's now back down to a considerable tag with that storm here. So that means that needs to be updated at this point here. But as I said before, guys, this is why we're here. This is why we keep you guys updated on the latest here. But right now, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for the following counties. It's going to be Newton, Johnson, Hope, and Searcy counties. Saline and Pulaski, Claiborne County now under severe thunderstorm warning, and also Newport, Independence, and White County, and northern Woodruff County under severe thunderstorm warning now. And all these severe thunderstorm warnings are going to go from about that 8:30 to 9 o'clock time frame at this current point here. Go ahead, Derek.
Yep.
What you got?
All right. So again, folks, let's take a look here at this storm here. This is just north of Bradford here. So again, once again, this is our hail size indicator, and this tells us exactly, you know, what size hail we could be dealing with in the storm. So we're seeing a lot of 2-inch hail right now across much of the warned area of the storm, and again, this is moving off towards the northeast here at roughly about 25 to 30 miles an hour. So for our folks here in northern White County and Jackson County, let's put a track on this storm. It continues to push off towards the northeast here. Again, so basically, this storm here is moving from southwest to northeast, so it's going to be hail first and then rain.
Yep.
Is basically what it's going to be doing. So again, it's moving off toward the northeast at 20 miles an hour. So here for our folks here, basically, folks like Weldon at 821, Newport 832, and over toward Domagon here about 851 this evening. Again, that's for the storm in White County, Jackson County, Independence County, and very northern edge of Woodruff County this evening. Again, I would not be shocked to see our severe thunderstorm watch extending into northeast Arkansas shortly.
Yeah, and that's what I'm monitoring over here.
So once again, we have another warning here. This one is for our folks in Claiborne County as well, mainly for the storm out west here. This is just over the equipment area. A lot of campgrounds around Greers Ferry Lake as well. Once again, if you are in a campground around Greers Ferry, you need to pay close attention to these storms. This storm is also moving off towards the northeast about 20 miles an hour. This is going to move into Heber Springs around 8:22 this evening, and this storm is going to be producing at least 1 inch hail, so 1.5 inch hail, and winds less than 50 miles an hour. So hail is the main threat with the storm. Again, hail is the main threat with a lot of these storms, but because we have so many of them, that's what we have to talk about this evening.
Yeah.
So now let's go down and take a look here again for our folks here in central Arkansas. Again, this is the storm just west. So this storm is now a considerable damage tag, Cameron.
Yeah.
This is moving into the metro area. Still, again, just west of Perrin. These storms are not moving much at all. 15, 20 mile an hour tops.
Yeah.
And with that means you're going to have a prolonged hail event, prolonged rain event, prolonged storm that moves over the same areas over and over and over again.
Yes, and I agree with that. So the one over here, and Derek, for doing me a favor, not taking anything away from the storms ongoing the rest of the natural state, but the one in Saline and Pulaski County, and that one's the one that has a considerable damage tag on it at this point. This one is producing, let's go over to our hail indicator at this point. On my end, I've got about 2 to 3 inch hail with that storm here, and then you can see that's just south of Highway 10 over here, just west of Highway 9, and just to the northwest of Highway 298 that runs out of Saline County here. So watch this storm closely. As mentioned before, considerable damage tag is there for a reason, producing hail. And as I said before, I've walked like 2 or 3 people over here getting in an argument about how severe thunderstorm warnings are not important. Severe thunderstorm warnings are very important, okay? We're on live for a particular reason, because of the fact that you see these orange boxes, these red boxes. Those are considerable damage tags here. Obviously, I don't think it's going to pull up any cities here, because I think that's a very rural area over here in western Pulaski and western Saline counties. But I do know a lot of people that kind of live out here. So this is going to generally stay south of Highway 10 out here in western Pulaski County. We have to watch that situation close. Derek, do me a favor, kind of extend that out. Probably about 20 miles per hour should be fine. I don't think it's going to pull up anything. There's no cities or anything in the path of this. But it's going to be just to the west of the metro right now, just south of Highway 10. It's going to go over Songbird Lane, 12th Street over here.
So this would be Canis Road here.
This
is the Canis Road that runs all the way from 12th Street here in the metro, all the way out to Perrin.
Yeah.
So once again, mainly areas here, rural areas of western or eastern Saline County. Once this crosses Highway 9, that's when but right now this is the second storm to form here in the same area. Again, just to give everybody, I know everybody's kind of eerie about a tornado threat. This is the current velocity scan. Nothing.
That's nothing.
There's nothing on it. So that's a very good thing to see. However, large hail is a significant threat with this storm. And mostly any storm that moves through this evening, at least until we lose our daytime heating, then we start talking about more of a damage and wind threat.
Okay, so now we have a new mesoscale discussion out from the Storm Prediction Center here. Severe hail and severe wind remain possible across the watch area. This mesoscale discussion goes from eastern Oklahoma all the way down to central Arkansas. So basically where the current severe thunderstorm watch is at this point here. Like I said before, we're getting a lot of pictures in across the area here, guys. Across western Arkansas here, but I would definitely watch this situation close. One in particular is a hail port on US Highway 67 over there in northeastern Arkansas. That one's going to have to be watched. We've got one, and new scan just came in from the one in Pulaski County and Saline, now producing 3-inch hail, radar indicated at this point. The one up here in Newton County, fortunately, has died off. It's not as significant as it once was. Still watch the storm very closely on Highway 65 up there in Searcy County, but right now I do believe this storm up here in Newton County is losing its intensity, which is great news across the board. So heavy rainfall producer. Still have to watch out for hail, but I believe that considerable damage tag will be coming off with the next update at this current point here. Go ahead, Derek.
Yep. All right. So once again, let's just go over everything again, if you live in the Fort Smith area, these storms have died down. Mostly heavy rain and lightning now, with small hail out of these storms. Again, so let's just go over each and every storm here once again. So we have severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson, Independence, White County, Woodruff County. This goes until 8:30 this evening, moving east at 30 miles an hour. 1¼ inch hail out of that storm. Now we have our storm here in Saline County, very far western Pulaski County. And now I clicked on the wrong one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There we go. Okay, so there we go. Severe thunderstorm warning here. Damage threat considerable. 2-inch hail now out of the storm, as well as 60 mile an hour wind again. This moving east at a whopping 12 miles an hour. And then we have this one here over Cleveland County. This is going to move into the Heber Springs area, as I mentioned, over the next 30 to 45 minutes or so.
Yep.
But this is also moving northeast at 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, definitely. So, how long the one west of the metro will be till it hits till it hits us here in Little Rock? It's moving at about 12 miles per hour.
Yep.
So it's about, I would say, Derek, about what, 10 miles to the west of Little Rock right now.
No,
not even that.
It's about 15.
Yeah, about 15. So we'll have to watch that close. If it's moving 12 miles per hour and we're 15 miles away, it's going to be a very long time before it gets here. And that's if it even makes it to the metro.
Yep.
So just have to kind of watch that closely here. I know it's been kind of, these storms right now are kind of pulsating, and they're like, okay, well, they're going up and stuff like that. We don't have a lot of our forcing in just yet. We got enough to kind of spark some severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff like that. But right now, we just kind of watch the situation closely across the board here. All right, but this is what we got going at this current time here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, so once again, and this is the storm now that is producing the largest hail.
Yeah.
This one is coming into the metro here, over the next hour or so, moving very, very slowly. Let's put the radar just back in motion over the last hour or so, and you can see not much movement at all with these storms.
Yeah.
And
very, very low.
And really, the storm moving the fastest is over here across Jackson County. The rest of them are just kind of very slowly translating across the state. And basically, what that means is that it's going to be a long time. We're going to see a lot of rainfall in a very narrow area. Basically, what you can see by this time tomorrow, when all is said and done, is a large area of rainfall where you saw 2 to 4 inches of rain, and an area where you saw hardly any rain.
Yep, I do fully agree.
And that's basically where we're at right now.
Yeah, and right now, so before we're getting a lot of questions in, a lot of people inboxing us and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. A lot of people say they still haven't seen a lot of rainfall across the board. It's just been kind of hit and miss right now, and this is what we expected. I expected this to be kind of hit and miss from the get-go, and then they're going to start forming more and more and more as we get towards the overnight hours as our system begins to come out. So keep that in mind here. This is going to be a patient tester. I said this in the live stream earlier on if you were listening in. This is going to be a patient tester system. A lot of people don't have a lot of patience, but keep that in mind here. It's gonna happen. We're gonna have some showers and the storms get going overnight hours tonight, early part of your Sunday morning here. But right now, this is scattered, hit and miss thunderstorms. Some areas are seeing a lot of heavy rainfall and hail, while other areas are just kind of high and dry across the area here. But as I said before, this is not gonna be a significant heavy rainfall maker across the national state. Somebody's gonna see this, they're gonna think the wildfire danger is done and it's game over. That is not going to be the case. It's just going to be enough rainfall just to kind of wet the grounds and stuff like that. Give us a little bit instead of us being bone dry. But this is definitely not going to break this severe water threat across the board. What are you trying to do there?
All right. So and then another thing though to keep watching out for as well. You know, with the storm is something that does concern me.
What's up?
Is the lightning hitting this dry ground. I haven't seen any reports yet of fires, but
great news.
But that does not mean that, especially across parts of the Ouachitas and the Ozark Mountains, that we don't start to see them as we go into the evening and overnight hours. But once again, so let's go back right now. So the storm with the most amount of rainfall right now, or most amount of hail, is currently here just to the west metro. It's not moved. is literally sitting in the same spot as it was literally 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So again, that's moving very, very slowly towards the east here, and will continue to move very slowly towards the east. If you live along Highway 9 and Canis Road area, this is where it's going to be moving. Getting reports of golf ball size hail and possum grape area.
Oh yeah.
Right now. Also, we're getting reports as well here. So again, the storm up here in Newton County is really starting to lose its oomph, and that's a good thing, because it is going to be moving into a less favorable environment over the next couple hours. Another thing I want to mention is, folks, again, we've said this time and time again. This is round one. These are the scatter storms that we mentioned ahead of the cold front that's going to be moving through this evening.
We have a future cast down there for a reason. So if you need that information, take a look at the bottom right corner of your screen. We're in severe weather mode right now. So those that need that information, we have that at the bottom right corner of your screen here. But this is round one. Round two will come later on. This is a patient tester. You got to have patience when you're dealing with weather here, especially in Arkansas, because it doesn't happen right off the bat here. It takes a lot of patience to get to that point. But right now, as mentioned before, we got several severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Saline, Pulaski, Searcy, Newton, Johnson, Woodruff, Independence, Jackson, and White. All these severe thunderstorm warnings are going to go into at least 8:15 to 8:30. The boxes that you're seeing kind of flashing, those are what we call special weather statements. There are basically a statement under a severe thunderstorm warning. Basically, they're producing 30 to 40 mile per hour winds and some hail, but they're not producing anything significant in terms of warning for a severe thunderstorm warning. So keep that in mind. But still, watch those storms closely. As before, we got 1, 2, 3 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board. We're watching the situation very closely. We'll keep you guys updated on the latest.
All right, we have a new update from the Storm Prediction Center.
Glenwood, yeah. Watch that.
All right, so we have a new update from the Storm Prediction Center as well. Slight risk does remain for the rest of the evening hours, and if I'm not mistaken, it has been it's still in the same exact area, and will continue into the overnight hours. Again, they do remain to say that the tornado threat is extremely low this evening, and that's what we mentioned. And that's what we expected. The tornado threat is very, 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 very low with these storms this evening.
Okay. All right. So this is the latest from Storm Prediction Center here. So convective coverage remains greatest across this corridor. So basically, due to the warm air invection, low level flow will gradually. And this is for my folks that are wondering about if they're going to see rainfall or not. Okay. Pay very close attention. Low level flow will begin to increase throughout the overnight hours. What does that mean in layman's terms? That means showers, thunderstorms will increase throughout the overnight hours, okay? We're going to have to watch the situation closely, but that will increase the shower thunderstorm development across central and northern Arkansas, which will continue the thunderstorm development. So what's going to happen is this is going to gradually increase instead of decrease like we saw the other night. The other night, showers, thunderstorms were decreasing because of the nocturnal inversion. Tonight, you have a low-level flow that's going to continue to come in, which is going to counter that inversion. So you're going to have those showers and thunderstorms ongoing. Take a look at your future cast, by the way. Bottom right corner of your screen. All the information is right there. You can see the showers and thunderstorms really build throughout your overnight hours here. And that's what we got going across the board here. That's what's going to be developing throughout the overnight hours and into the first part of your your Sunday morning across the.
And so what I've done is as I've switched our radar to a national view, is what I've done, and you can see all this building over here in Oklahoma. This is going to slowly move east. This is going to move down I-40 throughout the evening hours. We see this time and time again in the spring. This is going to move east. This is going to be the start of what's going to be our next round. This round is not expected to be severe as it moves in, but it will produce very much needed rainfall across the state where it does track. So once again, don't be discouraged, because we have plenty more to go where this came from.
Definitely. I do fully agree with that as well. Okay, and also one more thing, these severe thunderstorm warnings, if all these severe thunderstorm warnings expire We will break away from coverage and have radar updates on the page.
Yep.
Tonight, I want to stress, because there's going to be some storms that are going to get going, and they're going to sound like that they're severe, but they're not.
Yep.
Okay. There are going to be loud thunderstorms tonight across northern Arkansas. You see that with your feature casts up there on the bottom right corner of your screen. Those thunderstorms,
Yep.
I want to make this crystal clear, should not be severe. They're going to be strong in nature. They're going to be loud because you have a lot of what we call aloft instability. That means that your storms are going to be extremely loud across the board. However, your severe threat overnight will decrease. The tornado threat will, there's not even, first of all, it's very, very low threat to begin with. Any threat of that will be gone by the overnight hours, okay? There could be some gusty winds, stuff like that, some small hail. But what we're looking at right now is what we expected. These isolated cells taking advantage of the daytime heating and going severe. Once they merge into clusters, they will go from being a hail and wind threat to just strong thunderstorms. So as you can see, in Lonoke County over there in Eastern Arkansas, over there in Yale County right now, we're watching those storms. Those storms are non-severe at this point, okay? Keep that in mind here throughout the overnight hours. I know a lot of people have storm anxiety, they worry, and that's perfectly okay. I'm just letting you guys know now, throughout the overnight hours, we're not expecting severe weather for round 2, okay? Take a look at the bottom right corner of your screen. That's where your feature cast is at this point here. Go ahead, Derek. That one right there, I was saying that Greenwood storm needs to be watched very closely here at this point here. Okay. All right. I'll keep an eye on that.
All right.
I'll keep an eye on it.
That's over there in the western part of the state.
I'll keep an eye on it. And it honestly wouldn't shock me at all, but we'll watch it closely. That's an unconfirmed report.
Yep.
At this point, but we'll watch it. We'll watch it for right now.
All right. So once again, let's go back over. So let's go back over on all of our storms around the state once again. So once again, we have a storm that does have considerable damage here. Still, just to the west of the metro. I think it refuses to move, but
yeah, I was gonna say it'll move. All right, let me see.
And this storm is it's just now crossing Highway 9.
Okay.
It's been warned for 20 minutes and just now crossing Highway 9.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what we got at this point here. We'll take a look at our reports and stuff like that. Right now, there's a storm producers update from earlier. At this moment, I'm not seeing a lot of reports and stuff like that. Oh, one more thing I want to stress. It's a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of people at the fair, at the Arkansas State Fair this evening. Right now, we don't have a lot going on here in the metro, okay? But watch this situation closely. If you're out in the state fair tonight, you need to watch the radar very closely here, guys, okay? I'm not expecting a widespread area of severe weather. Derek, do me a favor, take a look at that storm over there, just south of 40, that one right there. Watch these storms closely. What's going to happen is, now I mentioned before this, I talked about this in the live stream earlier. If, and I mean only if, there were to be a tornado threat, it's going to be right now. It's going to be right now, because what's going on is your boundary's right there. If it were to happen, it'll be right now. Anything beyond this point is not going to happen. And it's a very, 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 very low shot of occurring at this current point here. But we'll watch the situation closely. I'm not expecting a tornado event or anything like that, but I'm really concerned about the hail and the wind threat here. We'll keep an eye on that. There's a severe thunderstorm warning over there about
All right, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning here. This one goes for the Greenwood area once again. So again, we're going to be watching these storms very closely.
Okay.
Again, we're going to stay with you here until the last warning expires. This evening, no matter how late that is. And I've been up since 4 o'clock. We're not going to talk about that. But once again, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. And then this goes. And then this is for our folks in Greenwood here, and we have to have another warning out as well now. So first, let's get to this one in Greenwood, Cameron.
Okay.
So this is for parts of Franklin and Sebastian counties, and that's a special weather statement, not the. There you go. So this is for 3/4 inch hail and 50 mile an hour winds. Again, this is moving east at 15 miles per hour. So this is in between Greenwood and Mansfield. And this is moving off towards the east here at about 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So what we can do here, let's put a tracker on this storm,
Keep
moving
it up.
off toward east at 15
Yeah.
miles an hour.
I was gonna say, when you get done with that, take a look at the Ola storm.
All right.
I'm seeing. I'm gonna kind of take a look at this.
So
before-
Boonville, this is
before
going to move
we
towards
make
you here
assumptions.
as we head towards about 9 o'clock this evening. So again, that is a storm we are going to be watching as it moves off towards the east here at about 15 miles per hour. And again, we have another storm here. This one is just to the northwest of Casa.
Yep.
And the Smith has not come up on my end yet here,
It'll-
but I know it will shortly.
It'll come up shortly. But the severe
There it
thunderstorm,
is.
yeah, I was gonna say, I can read it off to you. Severe thunderstorm is gonna go for Perry, Conway, Saline, Yell, and Pope until 9 o'clock. 60 mile per hour wind gets quarter size hail with that storm here, and I'm keeping an eye on that because of the signature that right now. And you can see the hail producer in the top of the storm, but it's starting to hook a little bit. This is why I was saying, if there were to be a tornado threat, it's going to be brief, it's going to be very, very isolated, and it's going to be what we call a mesoscale accident. We had a storm go over here earlier that probably left a boundary. If that were to be the case, it's going to be at that point, okay? So this is what we got at this current time here, all right? This is what we're going to watch very closely. Also, I know a lot of people are getting frustrated with us and stuff like that. Patience, patience, patience. We've gone over this a million times today, okay? The slight risk remains in effect for much of central and western Arkansas. Severe thunderstorm watch is going to go until 10 o'clock. We've got forecasters in the chat. We're trying to get to everybody as physically as possible, but you gotta remain patient with us, guys, okay? That's all we're asking for you guys at this point here. We're trying to get to everybody as quickly as we can. We see your comments. We see your questions. Be patient with us. We got a million warnings we're going over right now. We got a lot of reports we're going into right now. Very busy evening for us here at Arkansas Weather Watchers, okay? But keep an eye on the radar. We'll keep you guys updated on the latest. But we'll get to your question when we get the shot here, guys, okay? Go ahead.
Yep. All right, so once again, right now, we have 4 warnings across the state. So we have Jackson County, a new warning has just been issued there. Again, this one now goes until, this one is now for winds up to 70 miles per hour. Okay, no, wait, that's the watch.
Yeah, that's
All
the watch, yeah.
All right, come on, there we go. All right, so so hail threat up to 1.25 inch and 50 mile winds. So again, mainly a hailstorm. This should stay just south of Jonesboro for now. I just saw that question come out, but again, we are going to be watching that storm closely. Also watching again, we have a warning here for Saline County.
Yep.
This goes until 8:30 this evening. Damage rate is still considerable. Hail has been observed. 1 3/4 inch hail. Again, this is just to the west of the metro.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have our storm over here in Greenwood. And this goes for parts of Sebastian and parts of Franklin County here, just to the northwest of Logan County.
Yeah. I'm going to take a look at something real quick. So this is going to be our power outages right now. Power outages are now up, by the way. I'm going to update that on the map here shortly. We're now up to 3,500 customers without power across the board. So keep that in mind here. That's another concern of ours, is the power outages.
Yep.
We're also seeing a lot of people, and I'm taking a look at this on the Energy's Facebook website. There's a lot of people getting frustrated with them. Guys, patience. You gotta have patience. This is why we tell you guys days in advance about severe weather, power outage potential, and stuff like that. You gotta remain patient with us, guys. Okay, we're trying to get to you guys as quickly as we can. We're not expecting severe weather with round number 2. Let me make that perfectly clear to everybody that's asking this. We are not expecting severe weather throughout the overnight hours. There's no tornado threat overnight. There's no major damaging wind threat overnight. There's no major hail threat overnight. This is why we had a live stream this earlier on this afternoon, because we went over everything. Okay? This is what you got right now. From 6 p.m. till 10. After 10 o'clock into the overnight hours, your severe threat will drop significantly. I'm not expecting anything for round 2. This is just going on right now because of the fact of the daytime heating and the storms ongoing right now here, okay? Please keep that in mind here. And also, those that are asking for the tornado threats, okay? The tornado threat is very, 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 very low. Almost zero at this point. Can't rule it out because, as I said before, all it takes is one little thing to get going, that's it. But do not worry too much about the tornado threat with this setup. May not even see a tornado warning at all. Mainly severe thunderstorm warnings, hail and wind will be the primary concern with this setup here, guys. Okay, but keep it calm, guys. Take a deep breath. We'll keep you guys updated on the latest. But I want to stress to everybody right now, round 2 is not going to be a severe weather outbreak. It's not going to be a tornado outbreak by any stretch of the matter, okay? We promise we will be here if anything happens throughout the overnight hours. But I'm not expecting anything at this point. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, so once again, we have a new warning here. So again, warnings just keep on coming this evening. So once again, we have a new warning. Again, this is moving at a whopping 10 miles an hour. Hail size 1.5 inch hail. 60 mile an hour wind. Again, this is for Scott and Logan counties, and this goes until 9 p.m. this evening.
Got it.
And then again, we also still have our severe thunderstorm warning here. That is still a considerable damage storm that is currently, now if you remember 10 minutes ago I told you that this storm was west of Highway 9. It's just now moved east of Highway 9. In 20 minutes it's moved maybe 5 miles.
5 miles,
so once again, training of flooding could be a possibility with this storm as well. Isolated areas of flash flooding. Again, this storm is producing 1 to 2 inch hail, and this is going to be tracking towards the metro here over the next really 20 to 30 minutes or so. And once again, we also have our other warning, mainly right here around the Pettigene area. Again, for parts of Yale County, Conway County, and Perry County here. And this is also moving off towards the east here, about 17 to 18 miles an hour. So this is the only storm I have not had a chance to put a tracker on yet. So let's track this storm here, moving off towards the. Let's put it here about 20 miles an hour. So once again, this storm is going to move towards Casa right now, and then of course towards Perryville about 8:43, Houston about 8:42 or 8:52, Bigelow around 9:04. And then on towards Fush around 9:06. And again, this is the storm, if it keeps on its current track, that will affect the Little Rock metro area here at some point.
I just got a rotation indicator for the one in Casa and the Ola area. Now I want to kind of stress that storm for you guys. It's going to be for this one right in here. I want to stress this is high elevation. This is going to be higher elevation over here in western Arkansas. Radar could be deceiving us by a big margin because of the fact that it's higher elevation. Basically what's going on, there's a lot of mid-level rotation. That's why your health rate's so high tonight. But can it connect to low level? Because low level will make the difference between you seeing a hailstorm and a potential tornado. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning, no need to worry about a tornado threat, but I would definitely watch out for that damaging wind and that hail potential at this current point. Okay, just watch the situation very closely. We'll keep you guys updated on that. Go ahead, Dave. You're good.
All right. So once again, lots of special weather statements out there this evening. We do have a few warnings that are still in place. Of course, we are watching every single storm around the state right now. Hail and damaging winds does continue to be the primary threat out of these storms as they continue to push off towards the east very slowly.
That's the biggest thing here, and the storm motions tonight are not fast at all. It reminds me so much of a summertime setup versus a mid-fall setup across the area. It just kind of tells you what kind of pattern we're setting ourselves for at this current time here, guys. But we're monitoring the situation close. I just want to stress that to everybody. Don't worry so much about the tornado threat. I know everybody, when they hear that word, it just freaks them out. Don't worry so much about the tornado threat tonight here. This is not a setup for tornadoes.
Nope.
Not a setup for tornadoes. This is a hail threat. You're looking at a true hailstorm here in Arkansas. Not a tornado threat. Okay, you can have a hailstorm and damaging winds without having a tornado threat. So please keep that in mind across the board here. Okay, just watch the situation closely at this current point. Go ahead, Derek. What you got?
All right, just continuing to go through the comments, look at everything. So right now, so once again, as we mentioned, the storm around Ola is mainly a hail threat. The radar look has completely changed on that storm.
I figured it would. I said before, the tornado threat to begin with didn't look great. I mean, you have southwest winds at the surface. You got southwest along. This does not scream a true Arkansas tornado threat either to begin with. The hail threat, different story, because you actually have crossing winds, which is funny enough. aloft, which is above our heads.
Yep.
That's why you have the hail coming down. That's why you're getting these golf ball sized hail and stuff like that, because you do have it crossing winds, but it's not connected to the surface. So you're getting the updraft. You're getting these rotating cells updraft, but they're not going to be tornado producers. They're going to be hailers. They're going to be significant hail producers and damaging wind producers at this point. Go ahead, Dave.
And so once again, they are holding on to the considerable damage tag.
Yeah, I was going to say.
On this storm here, just to the west of the metro. Let's go and look at the hail size on this storm. And again, we're still getting around 1 to 1, mainly 1 inch hail. So
that should be changing. Okay. The reason why they kept it is because it's been observed.
Okay.
The golf ball size hail has been observed with the storm in Perry.
Right.
Someone reported that in.
So the storm in Casa now has 2 inch hail with it. As well, let's go over here and look at our Greenwood storm. We have 2 inch hail with the Greenwood storm. We're also now seeing 2 inch hail on our Newport storm as well. And then, of course, like we said, 1 to 2 inch hail here. So our 4 severe thunderstorm warning, this is the average hail size. Right now it is running about an inch and a half up to 2 inches with these storms.
Yep.
So, once again, the hail size is definitely there this evening. But a lot of people asking about, the shear and stuff like that. So there's not a lot of it at all, as you can see.
No.
Let's go to, just looking at our gate shear. This is what we look at when we try to see a tornado threat. Again, nothing there. You don't have to worry about a tornado threat this evening. This is mainly a damaging hail event. It eventually may turn into a damaging wind event. But once again, as we start to lose our daytime heating, over the next couple of hours, we will start to see a decrease in that as well.
Yeah.
We have a new warning that has just gone out, and this goes for southern Craighead, western Poinsett County, and northwestern Cross County.
Yeah, it's that one up there. That's going to go until 9:15 this evening. Hail threat, once again, half dollar size sales, 60 mile per hour wind gusts with these storms here. And they're urging everyone, okay? Large hail, damaging winds, and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm, which is something we don't want to see, especially with an extreme wildfire danger. Move indoors immediately. Lightning can be one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you are close enough to hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. So you need to move inside. Regardless of the lightning threat, this is producing heavy rainfall, damaging winds, and large hail with this storm here. This is going to include the Beatville area, the also towards Cherry Valley, Harrisburg, also Hickory Ridge over here, mainly right around that 8:45 time frame, and then the others a little bit after 9 o'clock here at this current point. But we're watching this situation closely at this current time here over here in Northeastern Arkansas. Go ahead, Derek. What you got?
All right. So once again, folks, like Cameron has said, Hickory Ridge around 8:45, Fisher around 8:49, Winter around 9 o'clock this evening. So once again, that's just one storm around the state. So let's go down once again. Take a look. So we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This one is for the Little Rock Metro,
these warnings are
or
coming out
just to the west of the metro here.
Yeah.
So again, this is just a general thunderstorm warning. Again, not very far into Pulaski County at all yet. So the storm is, again, moving at a whopping 12 miles an hour now.
Yeah.
So we've gone from 10 to 12 here with this storm. Again, max hail size, 1.5 inches, and then, of course, 60 mile an hour winds as well. So again, if this storm up here in Casa survives, this will affect central Arkansas as well. So once again, let's put a track on this storm here. This is just to the west of the metro. Again, this does have a history of producing hail up to 2 inches in diameter here a little bit earlier this evening around Perrin. So again, the heaviest hail is going to be on the western edge of this storm. And like I said, this is moving at a grand total. So again, storm most shows about 20 miles an hour. So let's take this out to about 20 miles an hour. And again, really won't be affecting the Kamak Village area here. So again, it's just now starting to enter the metro an hour from now. So you're going to hear thunder for quite some time before this storm gets into Pulaski County fully.
That's crazy, and that's just how slow these storms are moving. They're not moving very fast across the area here. So we're watching that storm close. I believe they dropped. Did they drop the considerable tag with that one, or is it still in? Okay. All right, because there it is. Ping pong size sail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, moving east at a whopping 10 miles per hour, man. That is not fast at all here, and that's if it even makes it to the metro before it even tries to die out and rain itself out. So we'll watch the situation closely with that. But that's 3 thunderstorm warnings still remains in effect for Pulaski and Saline County until 9:15 this evening. Here also, we're monitoring the other storms over here in northeastern Arkansas for the same time frame. Let me see here. Go ahead. All right, so we're updating the warning thing as fast as we physically can.
Yep.
At this current point, but this is what we got at this time here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, so once again, so for our folks here in Perry County, this storm is moving out of Yale County and is moving into Perry County, very southern edges here of Conway County as well. Again, this is going to approach Adona here in just about 10 minutes around 8:40 on towards Perryville around 9 o'clock, and then of course on towards Bigelow and Fush here as we head towards the 9:30 hour this evening. And then of course, once again, not to be forgotten about our folks over here in western Arkansas as well. We have not forgot about you folks here in Scott County and Logan County, just to the east of Greenwood. This storm is finally starting to move a little bit, and this storm is going to be moving off again. Same thing. Our hail core is just to the south of Boneville, just to the north of Waldron. So this is moving off towards the east here at about 20 miles an hour. So again, this storm is going to be moving in. The hail core of the storm is going to be moving into Boneville about 8:51, Magazine around 9:10, and then of course on towards Blue Mountain around 9:27 on this Saturday evening across the natural state. So once again, this is our first real extensive severe weather coverage of our fall season.
I was going to say, in quite some time. We haven't had one this long in quite some time here. I need to watch that storm up there in Jackson County. It's now producing 2-inch hail up there. We'll have to keep an eye on that situation here. But we'll watch the situation with this one. We see here. Severe thunderstorm remains in effect for northeastern Woodruff, southeastern Jackson County until 8:45. Quarter size hail with that storm. I think they'll end up probably going higher than that, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So the storm motions with these storms are kind of all over the place. Now, one in particular, this is why in particular I'm telling you guys now that the overnight threat's not going to matter much.
Yep.
Take a look at the one up there in Searcy County. You see that glowing box? That is a special weather statement. Remember, about 20 minutes ago, that storm had a destructive severe thunderstorm warning tag on it. That tells me that your nocturnal inversion is kicking in and your severe threat is gradually waning across the board. We still have some severe thunderstorm warnings kind of popping up here and there across western Arkansas and central Arkansas and eastern Arkansas. But that tells me everything I need to know regarding that storm here. So that's why I'm saying your overnight threat up there in northern Arkansas, you're not going to see a lot across the board here. So calm down, take a deep breath, stuff like that. We promise you guys we'll be here. We'll keep you guys updated on the latest here. Go ahead, Derek. You're good. Yeah, and these storms, by the way, are not moving fast at all. They're moving at a whopping 10 to 12 miles per hour. That's not going to get the job done across the board.
I mean, these are some of the slowest moving storms I've seen in quite some time across the state.
Definitely.
And that just goes to show you the amount of flow that we have across the state still this evening. You know, probably the biggest thing is that as these storms continue to push east, we have more storms coming out of the west. And
okay, Derek, what I would say, and this is going to go for that Ola storm, by the way. Keep an eye on that one. Your boundary is now starting to get a little bit of southerly to southeasterly winds in it now. Okay. So keep an eye on that storm in particular. One south of 64. They're ones that are isolated in nature. They're not attached to anything. Kind of watch them. Like I said before, if there were to be any sort of tornadic activity, it'd be right now. It'd be right now, because what's going to happen beyond this point is just the boundary's going to lift north, and you're not going to have a lot of activity with that. But I'd kind of watch that, because you are seeing a little bit of back winds over there in central Arkansas. But I wouldn't see that a lot here. But there it is, right there, that Ola storm. I would watch that very, very closely right there. There's an area for rotation there. As a matter of fact, pull up our rotation tool at this point. It's going to be, I believe, 1. Actually, take that back. Okay, it's going to be 0. It's going to be 0. So it should be pulling up here just a second here. Okay, actually, hold on. Press 2. There you go, and press 1. Over here. Yeah. By the way, it's all new technology. By the way.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Yeah, we're still learning this all. By the way, but you can see there's the air rotation. You can drag that all the way. It's gonna be the lock tool right here. There you go. All right. Yeah, you can drag that over to where the area of rotation is at this point. So it's gonna be in Ola. Go up a little bit. So right there. That's where the area of rotation is right there. So if there were to be any sort of tornado threat right now, it's going to be right in there where you see that area of rotation just kind of circling around at this point. Obviously, no tornado warnings at this point, but watch that storm close because we've been watching that real closely. It's right there on the boundary. It's moving southeast as well as a southeast mover. However, can it get the job done? We'll have to wait and see because there's a storm downstream from there in Little Rock. What's going to end up happening is it's going to cut off its inflow for just a bit. Then we'll have to wait and see what happens when the two merge together. But right now, in the immediate term, I'm not expecting a lot of rotation with that particular storm at this point. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, that verifies at this very time there. Go ahead there. And I was going to say, you know how to cancel it out.
All right. So once again here, folks, let's go back to our reflectivity stand. Obviously, we're going to be keeping an eye on all this storm. As we mentioned, right now, there's no tornado warning in effect. We don't expect any, but Arkansas does Arkansas things.
Yeah.
So
I do agree.
we're going to be watching it again, folks. If you live in Jonesboro, you do have a hailstorm that is really increasing in size. Again, this part of the atmosphere is completely untouched in the eastern part of the state. I'm really shocked we don't have a thunderstorm watch over there right now.
And latest storm prediction center, I'm not seeing anything from storm prediction center as well. Up there in northeastern Arkansas, you actually have a cold pool in place because you had some storms earlier that went through. Also there, we got new severe thunderstorm warning now. It's going to go for, I believe, let me see here. This one's going to go for Scott County. And yeah, let's see if I can zoom this down.
All right, Cameron, we are about to have a chaser up in Jonesboro. Jace, he's getting ready to head out and try to intercept the storm up here in Jonesboro area. So we're gonna be watching potentially for his feed now. Coming up soon.
Okay, sounds good. But the one we have a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, is Logan, Scott, Yale, and Montgomery County until 9:15. Severe thunderstorm located 7 miles southeast of Echo, or 8 miles north of Waldron, moving southeast. Okay, so now we have and I mentioned before, I said this in the live stream earlier on. If there were to be a tornado threat, it's going to be right now. Because notice something, your storms are now going from east to northeast, now they're starting to turn southeast. It's those southeast movers that you're going to have to watch because they'll be able to tap into that southerly to southeasterly wind at the surface. We'll watch it close. As I mentioned before, don't need to freak out or anything like that. It's not going to be a tornado outbreak coming up overnight. But the biggest thing is we're going to have to watch for these isolated cells because these isolated cells are the ones to do it. The Casta storm, we're watching closely, Perryville, Waldron. We're going to keep an eye on that storm, mainly a hail and wind producer. And then we've got one in obviously in Saline and Pulaski County that's going to go. That's going to be hail producers as well. We're watching these storms closely because if they start turning south to southeast, that's where you're going to have to watch for that isolated tornado threat later on this evening and into tonight. Go ahead, Derek.
Alrighty, so once again, folks, I do want to mention we are about to be live. We do have a chaser that's about to be live here on our Arkansas Storm Hunter site. If one of my guys would link up our Storm Hunters page in the comments, that would be great. And once he gets on the road and gets on this storm just to the south of Jonesboro, we will try to have that feed up as well on your screen here this evening as well. So around the clock coverage ongoing this evening.
Saturday night.
here in the natural state. So once again, let's get a track on this storm here just to the north of Mena, or Waldron, excuse me. So again, this is moving into Waldron right now. This is moving off towards the southeast here at about 25 miles an hour. Staying mainly in rural areas here. Again, Waldron, right now. It's going to track into mainly rural areas here of parts of Scott County, Yale County, and parts of Montgomery County as well. So again, all these storms are finally starting to move towards the towards the southeast as we expected they would.
Yep. And I just tagged the Arkansas Storm Hunters page. I'm gonna pin it in the comments. That way you can try to take it out. So if you guys are interested in the chase feed, we have that pulled up. He'll be live. He'll give you guys updates. But go like that page. That's where our chasers are at this point. Also, we got a lot of people asking about downtown Little Rock. We're hearing a lot of thunder, especially outside of the weather center. Right now, it just depends on that storm. That storm is moving at about 10, 12 miles per hour.
Yep.
We'll see if it makes it here. If it makes it here, great. If it doesn't, then we'll have to wait and see. But that storm moving southeast and this one moving northeast, they're going to merge at some point. I don't know if it's going to be over the metro or it's going to be just to the north over the Air Force Base. But we'll watch that close. Mainly a hail producer with these storms, and we'll keep you guys updated on the latest. Okay, so we're watching these storms very closely. We're going to watch the situation closely across the area here. We're all monitoring a couple of storms, primarily in Scott and Yell County, then the other ones over here in Yell and Perry County, and then we're going to be watching the ones over here in Northeastern Arkansas. Mainly hail and damage and wind potential with this, guys. Okay, so getting a lot of reports also out of the Greenwood area of flood water, a lot of flood water across the board. Be careful driving through town if you are in the Greenwood area at its current point. So kind of watch that very closely. Yeah.
All right, so folks, this is just to the south of Grubbs. This is going to move towards Wiener. We have 3-inch hail once again.
Okay.
This is the easternmost storm. This storm moved through parts of Jackson County earlier, Faulkner County earlier this evening. Again, this is 3-inch hail. It does continue to push off towards the east here. And so let's put a track on where this hail core is going to be moving. So 3-inch hail with this hail core. It's going to be moving here about 20 miles an hour. So this is going to be moving toward Waldenburg and Wiener here in the next roughly 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes or so. It's currently 8:39 here this evening, so around 9:07 it will be moving into the Wiener area. Again, this is 4-inch hail moving, 3 to 4-inch hail moving into
the problem, and I mentioned this before, your lapse rates are ridiculously high. I believe Jason's now live on the Arkansas Storm Hunters page.
Right.
I think he's live over there because I'm seeing a lot of notifications coming that way.
Are we able to get this up?
Yeah, we'll probably have to switch places because it'll be the very, very first time we will be able to do that. Derek, I do believe the one up there, the one up there in Northeastern Arkansas now has a considerable damage tag. It'll be pulling up here just shortly. But now we have yet another considerable damage tag with these storms here, man, for just a bit. It's been running all day, so it's probably trying to catch up here. But that one up there will read you guys the warning. This one's going to go for southwestern Craighead, western Poinsettia County, northwestern Cross County, producing tennis ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Considerable damage with this storm. 2.5-inch diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this particular thunderstorm here. So it's producing large hail. Seek shelter now inside of a sturdy shelter building. Inside of a sturdy structure, and stay away from windows, guys. They're stressing that so much across the board. So this will include Wiener, Cherry Valley, Hickory Ridge, also towards Wiley Crossing, Fairfield, and also the Bayou DeView State Wildlife Management Area up here in Northeastern Arkansas. I believe this is the one that our chaser is on, and we just got a report
3-inch hail.
Yeah, 3-inch hail. Just received a report. I think you got it over there. Received a report 3-inch hail here, right along the border of the Jackson Independence County area. So watch the situation closely. We'll keep you guys updated on the latest.
3-inch hail does sound good, by the way. 3-inch hail though is what I'm talking about.
I said 3-inch hail.
I know.
Didn't say
but once again, so we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across the state right now. So we have again Craighead, Poinsett, Cross, Jackson, Woodruff. We have Pulaski, Saline. We have Perry, Saline, Conway, parts of Pope, Yell County. We also have Montgomery County, Yell, and Scott County, as well as Logan County and various southern edges of Sebastian County, all under warnings at this time. Again, each one of the storms are hail producers mainly. We do have starting to see a little bit more of a damage and wind threat trying to develop. One thing is, to me, one thing I'm seeing with these storms is that they are pretty much maintaining their separation. So it could be interesting as we go into the evening hours, see how long they can keep this going.
And that's the number one thing here. That's the one thing I'm really concerned about. Because if they're able to stay separated, that's where your health threat's really going to continue to be maximized here across the area for the next couple of hours here. So this is going to be a continuous coverage. Tag your friends, tag your family in the live stream. I see that one comment, okay? And this is the reason why I'm at this point, because we've been talking about this all day long. Yes, these are just severe thunderstorm warnings. Yes, these are just severe thunderstorms, okay? You do not need a red box to take severe weather seriously, okay? I don't know why that's a stigma here in Arkansas, but it should not be the case. You need to treat severe thunderstorm warnings just as they were if they were tornado warnings, okay? Main threat will be damaging winds and large hail with these storms. We are watching the situation closely. We're going to keep you guys updated on the latest, but please get rid of the stigma of severe thunderstorm warnings don't matter, because they do. They do. And they can produce damage. They can produce trees down and stuff like that. Both me and Derek can tell you both. We've been in severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings chasing. And in some particular cases, you can't tell the difference between the two. Okay? So keep that in mind across the board here. They can produce damage and they can produce power outages, as you can see on your screen. So yes, these are just severe thunderstorm warnings, but they need to be taken seriously across the area here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right. So once
Sorry
again,
for the little rant, by the way.
all right. So we're gonna go through this once again. So let's go in right now. Let's zoom in here on the one here in the metro area. Again, I know a lot of people asking about this storm. They hear the thunder.
Yeah, I know.
The hail. So the hail core on this storm has come down significantly from what it was just a little while ago, which is a good thing. Obviously, we are still watching this storm, though. Again, the main hail size right now continues to be, and the hail core's really actually moved down closer to Benton compared to where it was. So it actually is still producing 2-inch hail here just in the north of Benton. But very, very heavy rainfall with these storms, just as well as a lot of cloud to ground lightning with these storms as well. Again, we also have our storms up here around Perryville as well. This is starting to get absorbed into the front. Now, biggest thing I'm seeing here, we're starting to get a complex of cluster of storms starting to develop. What that means is your health threat will start to go down over the next roughly 30 to 40 minutes.
Definitely, I agree.
But, over the next hour or so, but your damage wind threat will start to go up a little bit. Again, we are losing our daytime heating. We have roughly about an hour or so left in this thunderstorm watch. But I do think that this threat may continue just a little bit after that as well. So let's go and look here again at our storm here in western Arkansas. Again, this is for mainly Scott County and to the very northern edges of Montgomery County. Right now, let's go down and look here at our hail core on this storm. Again, mainly getting around 1-inch hail on this storm as well, up to 2-inch hail in the spot. Let's see what we're going to get. Mainly 1-inch hail here. This is just to the north of Waldron. Yeah. So let's go back to our reflectivity view here. Not that.
I was going to say, take a look at the one in Saline County as well. That one is producing now over 2-inch hail with that storm as well here. And that's the biggest thing. These storms, as long as they stay separated, that's where your health threat's going to be. But I want to stress something real quick. Had we had a directional shear with this setup, we probably would have been talking a much different situation with this. Fortunately for us here in Arkansas, we didn't have everything in place, but with these storms separated from each other and the amount of instability you had in place, had we had that directional shear, it'd have been an ugly night for us here in the natural state here. But fortunately enough, we got away from that potential here. But we're dealing with the health threat across the area. Speaking of the health threat, this comes from the National Weather Service in Little Rock. They recorded a 3-inch in diameter hailstone that fell in Ophiat, which is in, I believe, in western Arkansas. So this is large hail will continue to be a threat overnight. with these storms here. Just kind of watch it close, but definitely have to watch that very closely across the area here. Derek, are you seeing?
And I'm convinced I have a dome. I'm just throwing that out there.
We know, but it's okay. Watch that storm order near Waldron and the Greenbrier area here. It's starting to develop a little inflow notch within it. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that particular storm here. It's right there where that thunderstorm warning is going to the southeast here. Okay, so Conway, right now you're good to go. I'm just going to kind of tap some questions while we have a chance. Conway, you're good. Okay. Raining hard. Let me see if I can go back to the comments real fast here and answer a few questions real quick. So it's just going to be an overnight event. I'm going to make this crystal clear, everyone. The overnight event is going to be loud thunderstorms. Okay, they're going to sound severe, but they're not. Loud thunderstorms are going to be the main threat throughout the overnight hours. Is this severe threat going to continue throughout the overnight hours? That is going to be a big no. We're not expecting severe weather throughout the overnight hours. We're going to have to watch the situation closely, but I'm not expecting a big amount of severe weather throughout the overnight hours here. Derek, what are you seeing over there?
All right.
Okay. All right. Just making sure, because I didn't want to interrupt anything.
No, you're good.
But that's what the biggest thing here. We're not expecting severe weather throughout the overnight hours here. It's just going to be a lot of heavy rainfall and a lot of loud thunder throughout the overnight hours. But I promise you, it's not going to be severe across the area here. So Poinsett County, guys, you're good to go in terms of the tornado threat here. Now, I will say this. Watch that storm close. The one up there just south of Jonesboro is a large hail producer, has been known to produce tennis ball sized hail with that storm here. What I would do, get away from the windows and get away from the walls that puts between you and the outside as possible. You want to get kind of inside of your home at this point, because you don't want to be near a window during a hailstorm, because all it takes is one hailstone to go through the window and it's broken. Yep. So you want to get away from the windows, you want to get away from the outside walls, you want to kind of get inside the center portion of your home at this point. Not necessarily take tornado precautions, but you want to get away from the windows, because that's the biggest thing you have to worry about when you're dealing with severe large hail like we're dealing with at this current point. Okay, let me see here. Let me go ahead and double check everything at this point. I think you're good to go. You go ahead there. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to answer a few questions because we were getting a lot in, and I didn't want anybody feeling like they were being ignored or anything like that. So,
all right, let's go back and look here at our northernmost storm here. This is over here again, up around the Grubbs area, Harrisburg, Wynn. Over there again, nothing on velocity. This is mainly a hailstorm. So let's go and look here at our hail size right now. So once again, we are still getting around 2 inch hail right now, moving right across highway 49, and this is going to be moving into Harrisburg and Cherry Valley here in just a matter of moments. Once again, this is just a storm with very large hail. So let's put a track on this entire storm, really, from Harrisburg all the way down to Wynn here along Highway 64. Again, this is moving towards the east here at about 30 miles an hour now. So again, this is going to be moving into winter at 854 Cherry Valley around 908. Also down towards Truman around 939 and Mark Tree around 946 on this Saturday evening. So multiple warnings across state at this time. All severe warning, no tornado warnings on the board, and it should, keyword here, should stay that way through the rest of the evening hours. But let's go back down here and look again. Let's go back down here and look at this storm coming into the metro one more time again. Here, this storm is also moving very slowly, extremely slowly, towards the southeast. Again, let's go look at it again. Look at it again. Not much on the velocity scans on these storms, which is a good thing, which is what you want to see. Definitely. Our shear rate not showing much.
I am seeing a little bit of just a little bit of rotation right there, but I mean that's more than likely an elevated rotation that's just right there, but just northwest of Benton. Highly, more than likely, not radar indicated, mid-level rotation just because of the hail threat. There is a boundary Derek, that you might want to watch out for.
Yep.
That's just south of Benton, right there on Traskwood. If it merges, if it gets rooted with that boundary, I'd watch it as it pushes southeast. But other than that, I'm not expecting a torque right out of that. The one that's coming out of Perry County, just going to get ready to come into Saline and Pulaski. That one earlier looked impressive. Merged with these other storms. Torque threat gone with this one. Okay, the one over here in Waldron, we'll keep an eye on. It did have a little bit of an inflow notch, but right now, mainly mid-level rotation. When we mean by mid-level, up here and down here. If you have no low-level rotation, you will not get a tornado.
Yep.
I promise you won't. It won't happen. If you have a lot of mid-level rotation, it's going to be a hail producer and a damaging wind producer. But if you don't have the low-level rotation to get the job done, it's not going to happen across the board. And I do realize there's a state fair going on right now. What I would do if you're at the state fair, downtown Little Rock is in relatively good shape. You can blame him, by the way, he has a dome. Anyways, right now these storms moving southeast at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Okay, and what's going to end up happening is right now Little Rock's good, but I will watch the storms coming out of Perry County. Those storms will move down into the metro, and those will be the heavy rainfall and the the hail producers with these storms. Yep. Okay, we'll watch the situation closely, but right now downtown Little Rock, you are good to go right now. But we're watching this storm. Go back up there, Derek. Do me a favor. Let's go to the one in Northeastern Arkansas.
All right.
I believe Jace will probably be on that one. I think he is.
Yeah.
This one right in here. Take a look at the one near Grubbs. If I'm not mistaken, is that what you would call that, like an anticyclonic? Actually, never mind. Their scan just went poof on that. But yeah, I was gonna say for just a second or two, it had that signature on radar, and this is what the setups are gonna be like. They're gonna have this signature on radar, and it's gonna look like it's gonna produce a tornado, and it's gone. That's the setup we're looking at for tonight. So, damaging wind, hail threat with these storms, tornado threat. Right now, to be completely honest with you, with it being getting close to 9 o'clock, I think any tornado that you would have had would have happened by now.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to get a tornado threat with this setup. I think it's just going to be primarily hail and wind producers, and then later on tonight it's going to be a heavy rainfall, loud thunder, stuff like that. But just kind of keep that in mind across the year here. But the tornado threat, I'm officially throwing a white flag on it. I don't think it's going to happen. It never looked good to begin with, but we're getting later and later and later and later into the nighttime hours, and I just don't see it happening with this particular setup here, which is great news across the board here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right. So once again, this storm here, just to the east of Grubbs, it's currently producing right here, right around winter, basically right over winter. It's producing 3-inch hail. So you're getting 3-inch hail, and radar estimated. So roughly, whenever we see it on the radar, we deduct about roughly 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So roughly about 1.5 inches hail, up to 2-inch hail here coming into winter right now. And again, that is currently the strongest storm ongoing right now. The one here in Perry County is not producing really big hail at all, mainly 1 inch in diameter here. Our storm,
the one up there in Poinsett County just skyrocketed once again. Now back up to 2 inch in diameter. Yeah, I know. It's just it just continuously keeps up, keeps growing in size here up there, just southwest of Jonesboro at this point. Said before, get away from the windows. That's the biggest thing I want to tell you guys right now is get away from the windows. This is producing 2-inch in size hail with these storms. Okay, so what do we mean about 2-inch in hail at this point? Okay, so 2-inch hail will produce upwards to about can-sized hail. Okay, it's going to be about this size, and then you start talking, tennis ball size hail, baseball size hail, and stuff like that. Okay, but 2-inch diameter hail can produce damage. It can knock out car windows. You can put dents on your car and stuff like that. If it's wind driven, it can come right through your window. That's the last thing you want to do is sit by a window. Hail goes right through it, and you get glass cuts all over you. So keep that in mind across the board. Also, I see all the comments and stuff like that. I know everybody's kind of worrying and stuff like that. I want to make everybody kind of calm down a little bit. The tornado threat is practically zero at this point. Okay, If you were going to get any sort of tornado threat, you needed it to happen over the last 2 hours, and it has not happened. Large hail, damaging winds will be the primary concern for the rest of the night. Your tornado threat is 0. It was about this size to begin with. It's 0 now. Okay. However, like I said before, stay alert for hail. The hail threat has been the majority of our problems tonight, and I figured it would be the majority of our problems across the board. Okay, we are going to keep an eye if anything occurs, but I want to stress to you guys right now, and look at here, just look at the base radar right now. It is a complete mess. Storms are all over the place. This is the biggest reason why you don't have a tornado threat. It's because your low-level shear right now is very weak. If your storms, I'll put it. Let's take this for example. The one up there in Northeastern Arkansas, moving northeast. The one in Central Arkansas, moving southeast. The one up there in, I believe that is Boone, up there in Boone County, up there in northern Arkansas, not Boone County, yeah, southern Boone, Newton, Marshall, and Polk County up there. That one's moving northeast. You notice how these storms are moving in different directions. Like Derek mentioned before, this is a summer pattern. This is why you don't have a tornado threat, because these storms are not moving at the same direction. 9 times out of 10 to get a solid tornado threat. We saw this with December 10th. We've seen this time and time again with previous events. They have to be moving in the exact same direction. If they're not moving in the exact same direction, your tornado threat's gone. And I don't see it with this setup. It's going to be a hail, wind, and heavy rainfall producer across the board. Getting reports here. Thank you, Sarah. Pea-sized hail up there that's on 65. That storm, and that's another thing. That storm from earlier, Sarah, remember, it had the considerable damage. Take that back. Had the destructive tag on it earlier on. It's gone now. It's producing pea-sized hail. So that's why I'm saying these storms are not able to sustain themselves. We don't have the shear in place for a tornado. So if anybody that's asking about the tornado threat, which is great news by the way, anybody that's asking about the tornado threat, just relax. I promise you guys, we're not live for just tornadoes. We're live for severe thunderstorm warnings at this point here as well. Go ahead, Eric. You're good.
All right, so right now we're just going through everything.
We're down to 3 warnings, by the way, now.
Yep.
So once these warnings kind of get off the board, we are going to break away from coverage.
Yep.
But we're going to have radar updates on the page. But right now, we're down to 3 warnings across the board up there.
And what I'm seeing is that right now, I'm worried that we may be starting to transition a little bit to more of a heavy rain threat across a localized area.
Yeah.
As the front does the front remains stalled across much of central Arkansas this evening. And what that does is concern me about is that we'll continue to train over the same areas over the next really 6 to 12 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and
it's going to be a bit.
So basically, even though our warnings may expire, we're still going to have loud storms much of the night. So great sleeping weather if you're like me.
Yeah,
but the severe threat should start to wane here over the next couple of hours.
Yep, I do fully agree. Okay, so at the moment we can kind of take a look at some stuff. That was a hail report earlier from LZK. Right now here, we see here, there's a hail threat right now. Large hail fell this evening across Austin, across the board. At the moment, I'm not seeing any sort of new reports. Let me double check on that real quick. Okay. So yeah, they're starting to cancel severe thunderstorm warnings, which is great news. Yep. So I believe if we can get down to probably 1 warning or something like that, I believe we'll be good to go. Okay. Right now, I think we're good. I'm not seeing any sort of damage reports, which is obviously great news across the area here. Power outages. Let's take a look at that real quick. Power outages right now are sitting at 2,900 across the board, mainly for Yale, Scott, Sebastian, Franklin, Johnson, and Newton counties across the board. We have a few in Saline and Pulaski, but mainly in Western Arkansas is where the majority of the outages are at this current point. And we'll get that updated here shortly. But as I mentioned before, this is what we got. So we've got 3 warnings on the board. Once these 3 warnings have expired, we are going to break away from live coverage, and then we'll have radar updates throughout the night, so you don't have to worry about it or anything like that. We're not going anywhere across the board, but just kind of keep that in mind here. For those that are worried about the tornado threat, don't worry about it.
2 new warnings have just been added to the board.
Okay, never mind. 2 new warnings just added to the board. So that's what we got at this point. I think I may have jinxed that. But let's see what the 2 new warnings are going to be for.
And again, I have it down. The new warning takes the storm now that was coming into Little Rock, southwest of Little Rock. So once again, the Derrick Dome does live on. So if you want to rain in the Little Rock Metro, I do apologize. We have one more chance coming up though with this area. Cluster storms coming out of Perry County. That may go around us too, just because of the Derrick Dome.
It's not fun being here, by the way. Oh man, but that was gonna be for Grant, Saline, and Pulaski counties there. Man, that one. Take a look at that one. That one is in southeastern Arkansas, near Pine Bluff. That one's producing under an inch diameter hail. This one earlier, the one in Saline County going into Grant County, that one earlier had a considerable damage threat tag with that. And the funny thing is, it was just west of Little Rock. For some odd magical reason, went from moving east to now southeast.
Yep.
So we'll just leave it with that. But as I said before, this is what we got. So right there on Interstate 30, coming out of the metro, watch out for some heavy rainfall and some hail. New severe thunderstorm warning up here in northeastern Arkansas. It's going to go for Craighead and Poinsettia County.
Damage threat considerable.
Yep, golf ball size hail with that storm here. Moving to the east at 35 miles per hour here. So that's going to be for Poinsettia and Craighead counties up here. I believe is he on that storm right now? I'll have to take and make sure he's on that storm at this point, so we can kind of take a look. But I believe so. I can get it up on there if you bear me for just a moment here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to get with him because his camera feed is
upside down.
Yeah, it's upside down, and it's not gonna work on there. So I'll have to get with him to kind of turn his camera around. But other than that,
all right. So let's go take a look at this storm here, coming out. And again, folks, this does include Truman. This is a severe thunderstorm warning with a considerable damage tag. This is a 1 3/4 inch hail. Damage threat considerable. So we're talking about golf ball sized hail.
Yep.
And as this continues to move east, this is going to move. This storm does continue. This is going to be a large hail event, as we mentioned. This is moving off towards the northeast here at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. So let's take it out here. And that's not what I want to do. There we go. All right. So this is going to take it into Harrisburg now. Truman around 9:30. And then, of course, on towards Caraway as we head towards the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah, I'm going to borrow it for just a second. I'm borrowing this about just a bit. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm going to take a look at this problem real fast. Okay. That's what's going on here. All right. Okay. That should fix your microphone issue. All right. There we go. All right. Hopefully everybody can hear me now. That should solve any kind of microphone issue we have across the board. Elizabeth, I saw your comment. That should take care of your problem across the board. For some reason, it was connected to another microphone that was way over there instead of right here. But yeah, hopefully that should solve any kind of microphone issues for y'all hearing me. But yeah, just don't worry about him. But yeah, go ahead, Derek. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine. So once again, folks, so our folks in Caraway, Lepanto, again, this is a storm with considerable damage. Threat here, large hail damage is the main threat with this storm.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as we mentioned, we also have another severe thunderstorm warning. Again, as I expected, the Derrick Dome lives on. It's because it's gone from moving due east, and it turned right at I-430, and now it's going due south.
That's the funny
so
part
once again, the Derrick Dome has worked to perfection once again here, and is moving towards. And now this storm in Saline and Pulaski County is now moving off towards the south instead of the east. It's going to affect Benton, Shannon Hills, on down towards Salem.
Okay, that fits the problem now.
And then on down towards Haskell as well. Again, 1 1/4 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds with this storm. Again, you're going to hear a lot of thunder in the metro. A lot of it's going to be anvil thunder is what we call it, because the main storm is to the south, but you still get the rolling thunder from the storm. Another good thing is as I'm saying, we're starting to see training rainfall coming into the central part of the state. This
thank the Lord.
Also an area where we have a exceptional drought ongoing across much of the area that is currently getting rainfall. Not going to be a lot, but it's going to be something, and we need everything that we can get right now.
Definitely. I fully agree. Like I said before, thank we're blessed to see this. I know we're paying the price for severe weather, but we need the rainfall, guys. If y'all are seeing rainfall, let me know in the comments as well down here, man. We desperately need it. I wish we'd get it in the metro, but we desperately need the rainfall here across northern and central Arkansas. Oh, we got 2 more warnings that just went out there. This is gonna be a long evening. Yeah, I know. Northeastern Independence, Jackson, Lawrence, and Sharp County on 945. 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter size hail with those storms here. Okay, so that's 2 new warnings up there, and then this one down in here, golf ball size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts with that storm. Jace is on that storm, by the way, coming out of the Jonesboro area. It is pinned in the comments, so go take a look at the comments real quickly here, and you're going to be able to see his stream at this point here. But we do have 2 new warnings that just went on the board across the year here, and that one right in there, I think the Independence County one. Batesville up there is producing almost 2 inches in hail. The 2 severe thunderstorm warnings over here, we'll have to watch and see what happens. It's going to go into Crittenden County and also into Mississippi County before too much longer here. For some reason, these storms up here are moving a lot faster than the ones where we are right now here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board. 5 of those severe I should take it back. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those severe thunderstorm warnings are in northeastern Arkansas, 1 in central, and then 1 in western central Arkansas across the board. North Arkansas, you're getting a steady rain up there, and like I said before, we need it. We need all the rainfall we can get across the board because we are in an exceptional drought. The wildfire danger is an extreme. We need as much rainfall as we can get out of this event across the year here. Okay, so Alexandria, east of Little Rock, getting lots of wind, rain, and thunder and lightning with those storms here. So Allison up there in Independence County, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning now for that storm. It's going to be moving to the north and east at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. Ryan, I see your comment. That's the answer to your comment. Let me see here. Storm thunderstorm moving your way. Just kind of keep that in mind here across the board here. So is New York okay? We're going to watch that closely across the area here. But right now, we've got 7 severe thunderstorm warnings across the board. Baxter County up there in Mount Home, you're good to go right now. Both of those severe thunderstorm warnings are considerable damage tags up here in northeastern Arkansas. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is where our attention is going to be at its max right now because these are what we call level 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. I'll get that updated for you, by the way, Derek, on the stream here. But those storms are going to be moving towards Crittenden County and also towards Mississippi County before too much longer here. We'll watch that very close. So the Truman area, Mark Tree, Fillmore, Birdsong, also towards Joyner and Bassett. We're talking around 9:30 all the way to about 10 o'clock this evening across those boards. So you're going to have to watch, I believe that's Interstate 55 or 555 over there. Both, there you go. If they're in northeastern Arkansas, we'll have to watch that closely as it continues to push out towards east, northeast here. Go ahead, Derek. Yeah.
All right. So once again, as we mentioned, no tornado with this, but let's go and take a look at the health code. Again, the other thing that concerns me with these storms is that this is moving over a lot of farm fields. Again, most of our farmers have already harvested, but there's still some harvests that are still good to go here. And again, with this, with hailstorms can be very destructive to our farmers.
Yep.
So again, we have to hope that it doesn't cause a lot of damage as it continues to move east for those crops that are still left to harvest. Not many left, but there are still some. Again, mostly 2-inch hail, and this is moving off towards the east here at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Again, 35 miles an hour. Again, 1 3/4 inch there, 1 3/4 inch there. Again, moving off towards the east here at about 35 miles per hour. So let's go again. Looking at our velocity scan, not much there. Let's go back to our reflectivity mode here once again. Take a look and track these 2 storms. This actually one big storm with 2 different hail cores moving off here about 35 miles an hour.
Yep.
So it's going to put it in Kaiser about 10 o'clock. Wilson about 10:10. Mark Tree about 9:30. So really, over the next hour, it's going to be from Truman to Wilson over the next hour or so.
Apparently, Derek, I don't know if this is the case or not. Apparently, we're the only ones that are streaming right now.
Yeah.
We're the only ones. So that just tells you, if you're new here, that just tells you what we do. We keep you guys informed and on the latest. We keep you guys updated on everything when no one else does. So we're here. We're keeping you guys updated with severe thunderstorm warnings. A lot of people, they don't go live for severe thunderstorm warnings. We do, especially if they're a danger to us. And this is what we've got at this point here. So if you need information, know someone that needs information, tag them this live stream, introduce them to our page. That way they're not missing out on any kind of coverage here. Also, I want to point out one more thing. We have nearly 300 people, a steady 300 people on this stream across the board. So everybody that's here, we appreciate y'all for being here. We appreciate y'all for trusting us as your source for all things Arkansas weather across the area here. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind.
For our folks in Northern Arkansas, this is exactly what we were expecting.
Don't fall out of the chair.
I'm not gonna fall out of the chair. So again, now we're starting to see our rainfall beginning to form now in Northern Arkansas, exactly as we expected. This is now your main energy starting to move in. So that being said, as this is going to all start slowly moving south, until it does, you're going to have a continuation of the rainfall. Ow!
I just told you not to. Okay, all right. Really?
Oh, that hurt.
Okay. Ignore that, guys. Ignore that. Literally.
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good. Ow.
Okay. All right. Can we get back to coverage now?
Sorry about that, Joe. Ow. Oh.
Are you good?
I'm good. They think the camera came unplugged.
The what?
The camera came unplugged.
Okay. All right. Everybody can still hear you. Everybody can still hear you. Okay. You're good. You're good. You're still okay. Yeah. Dude, this is
I was driving.
okay. All right. Are you good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead.
All right. So once again, as I was talking about there before, the gradual, the fall from grace there.
That was not a blooper, by the way.
That was not a blooper. That was legitly live. That did not feel good.
Oh boy, that's great. That's great. Oh man, that's funny. He's fine, by the way, guys. He's okay.
We're good.
He's okay. Way to lighten the mood. Thank you, Derek. Lighten
You're
the
welcome.
mood. Now that's live TV. Yeah, I. Okay. Oh boy, I'm glad we don't have any tornado warnings right now. Are you okay?
Yeah, I killed the camera.
You killed the camera?
I killed the camera.
How did you kill the camera?
I don't know.
Hold on. I got you. I got you.
All right.
I got you over here. Hold on.
Yeah. All right. So
They can still hear you, by the way.
All
You're
right.
good.
that's our main mic too.
There you go. All right. It'll be come back on shortly. Find the camera and then turn back on. Yeah. He's fine, guys. He's fine. Oh boy. I can't believe he. Okay. All right. All right. Hit deactivate. Hit deactivate. There you go. And then reactivate. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. You're good.
All right, we're back.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's back.
All right. So all right, we're gonna pretend that it did not happen.
Oh,
So,
man,
once-
the camera is dead. The camera's fine, by the way. He's
Ow.
back on. He's back
So once
on.
again, yes. So once again, sorry about that, y'all. That did not mean to happen there. But glad everybody got a good laugh for it. So once again, we have 4 warnings now across the state.
Rest
So
in pieces to that.
one for Independence, Jackson, Lawrence, and Sharp County. 1 for Southern Craighead, Poinsett, Crittenden, and Cross County.
I'm sorry. To get back to real time here, we got a serious situation. Perry County, we have 1,300 people without power in Perry County right now. That may have been from that severe thunderstorm earlier that went through.
Let's update.
The power outages just went through the freaking roof. We're now up to 4,500 people without power across the area here, guys. But I hope that lightened everybody's mood. Man, that's great. Go ahead, Derek. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're good. You're good. You're good. I hope you're okay, buddy. I hope you're okay.
Oh boy.
Just don't be shocked that that's a mean tomorrow. But
My wife just texted me and said, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Great." She saw me fall too. Anywho, all right. So anywho,
we're good.
all right,
We're good.
We're good. All right. So once again, let's go back to this storm here, over here in parts of northeast Arkansas.
Yeah.
So once again, so this is the strongest storm in the state, and we have really big hail coming into parts of Marquis. So let's go back to our hail size here on our radar scan here, see if we can get. And W53, that was not the hail size. There you go.
There you go. There you go. You're good.
All right. So once again,
right there near Marquis.
All right. So right there near Marquis. So once again, 2-inch hail. So if you live in Marquis, you definitely need to be getting away from your windows now, lowest level of your house, and then of course put at not lowest level of your house. That's a typical 29, but at least get away from your windows because
definitely.
Wind-driven hail is a significant threat with this storm as it continues to move eastward here into an area that has been untouched all day.
Yeah, but now the thunderstorm damage threat considerable. As I mentioned before, I'm going to get that updated, the warning stuff updated real quickly here, guys. But as mentioned before, this is going to go, they have extended that warning, by the way. It's not 9:15 anymore. It's actually 9:45 across the area. So it's producing golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds across the area here. Radar indicator, hail threat. People and animals outside will be injured if you're outdoors, so you need to be outside. I know it's almost 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. Everyone's wanting to go out and do stuff, but you don't want to be outside during that. You do not want to be outside during this hailstorm. You need to seek shelter immediately and get away from windows. The reason why I tell you guys get away from windows is because you get a hail threat, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, especially if it's golf ball size hail, goes right through your window and you end up injured. So keep that in mind. You want to get away from the windows during these hail events because you don't want to be near one and then you end up getting hurt from that potential. Okay, but just kind of watch the situation closely across the area here. Go ahead, there. You're good.
All right. So also I want to mention something else. If I can get our radar to update here.
You may have killed it with that fall, but we're not going to leave it.
So another thing, everybody's like, what else is coming into Marquis? So we have 52-mile-per-hour winds coming into Marquis, along with the 2-inch hail. So that's something.
We have Dustin, by the way. Dustin's in Truman. He's going to let us know about that storm.
Okay.
He's going to send us some footage off of that. So I forgot he's in Truman.
All right. And we currently do have a live feed ongoing on our Arkansas Storm Hunters Chad as well, or chat page.
Yeah.
So we're going to be
Jason's live with that one,
continuing to watch that storm as well. Again, also if you live in the metro area, it's going to get loud. This is the only warning in the state. It's currently moving through the metro. Well, what do you know? The dome is broken.
Is it raining here finally?
So the fall out of the chair broke the dome. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right.
So once again, we do have a hail core still that is currently moving into the Shannon Hills area. So now the storm went south. Now it's going east again.
Okay.
There is no direction with these storms.
Okay.
They keep changing direction throughout the air throughout the course of their life cycle.
Yeah, and that one down there, and this is why another reason why I'm not concerned about the tornado threat, because that storm that just went through Pine Bluff, and I know there's probably some people from Pine Bluff that just got a massive wind shift. Wind gusts probably 20 to 30 miles per hour with that outflow boundary. All these storms are behind an outflow boundary. If they continue to be outside the outflow boundary, your torque threat is done. It's over with to begin with. So just kind of keep that in mind here across the area here. But this is what we got. Some thunderstorms going into the Pine Bluff area. We've got some just south of the Little Rock area. We're finally getting rain here in the metro. We desperately need it. I think I can't remember how long it's been there since we've been without rainfall. I think it was like sometime in mid-September. Since the last time we saw rain here in the metro. So we're finally getting rainfall here. Good amount of rainfall coming in out of the Perry County area as well. These storms will continue to move on towards the south and east, so this will kind of settle over the area. And you hear over the weather center a lot of thunder, rolling thunder. You're going to hear that all night long. If you're like me, this is what I sleep to: rain and thunderstorms. Okay, if this kind of worries you during the overnight hours, we'll be here.
Right.
We'll keep you guys informed. But right now, I don't think you're going to see a lot of severe weather throughout the overnight hours.
Well, the latest update from the SPC: new watch is not expected downstream.
Okay, good.
So
you're done. Yeah.
So they
after
have.
this, yeah.
So after this initial round, we are done with severe weather. All the indications are. But
and I can see that
the
now.
good thing is the rainfall.
Yeah.
It's starting to pick up.
The ones up here in Northeastern Arkansas will be the ones you have to watch. Once that's out of the way, I think you're going to be done with severe weather. I think you're going to be done. I took a look at the meso analysis for North Arkansas, and your environment is not conducive for severe weather across that area here. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind here. Let's see if okay, I see that one comment. Go back up. Who was that? Maybe I should have fallen off the couch. You're going to be a meme tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you that now. Can you draw the outlook boundary?
Nope, I can do better.
Yeah,
than that.
I was going to say, show everybody the it's going to be T. Yeah, there's the front. There's the front of boundary right there. So if you're north of that boundary, and the only reason why Northeastern Arkansas is seeing the severe weather up there is because I believe that boundary is just kind of tilted just a little bit up there, but don't fall again. Don't just, I was going to say, don't even bother with it. But up there, Northeastern Arkansas, considerable damage will probably be for those storms. Once it moves out of the way, I think you're going to be done. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at this real quick. And this is going to be your instability, okay? So this is the amount of instability you have. This is why you've had severe weather across the board. Your instability values are about 1,000, 1,500 to 2,000 across the board. All right, this is why it's going to sound loud tonight, because you have a lot of what's called aloft instability. Yep. All that instability is going to be sitting over the area throughout the overnight hours. So these thunderstorms are going to sound very loud in nature. It's probably going to rock your house. It's going to sound crazy. It's going to sound like severe weather. But I promise you, you're going to be good to go throughout the overnight hours. If the Storm Prediction Center is not worried about a watch, then that means your severe threat is basically done after these couple of warnings across the area here. So go ahead, Derek. You're good.
All right. So once again, I'm going to zoom this back out just to show you a regional view of what we're going to be looking at as we head into the overnight hours. Look out here in Oklahoma. This is our front right through here. This front is going to gradually move south. It's starting to move again. I'm starting to notice it's starting to finally move again. We have rain to the north. We have rain along it. And look here, you got more rain forming.
Yeah.
So again, this is the start of what's going to be a very rainy night and rainy early morning tomorrow. So again, if you're going out to church in the morning, if you have plans tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty rainy morning across much of the state.
Yeah, you can take
really,
an umbrella with you for
I will say it's the first really decent chance of rain statewide that we've had in quite some time.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Let's take a look, Derek, if you jump up the national view for just a minute. Let's go ahead and take a look at the one in Northeastern Arkansas, give them some attention up there. Yep. Apparently the one in Martree, I mean, this is a nasty storm coming into Martree right now. If you're fixing to be on an interstate that comes out of Memphis, goes up into Mississippi County, you need to watch this storm very, very closely across the area here, okay? So the ones in Martree, if you get any hail reports, please let me know. But right now, looking at the latest scan at this point, let me see if I can go back over to our thing real quick here. See there it is. All right, so we're talking about 2-inch hail that just went right over Martree. So Martree, you're getting a hailstorm right now, but this is fixing to go right on the interstate. So if you're on the interstate right now going into Mississippi County, you need to watch this storm closely and get ready for it, because it's going to produce a lot of hail, heavy rainfall, and cloud to ground lightning with these storms. And you can hear the thunder here in the metro. And I told him the other day, I was like, man, that's a sound that we have not heard in over a month. I mean, we need the rainfall and bad across the area here. So we'll have to keep it
beautiful rain.
Yeah, I know, it's beautiful out there. We desperately need it, guys. So we've got more coming throughout the overnight hours here. But up there in Northeastern Arkansas, we'll watch it. Latest from Storm Prediction Center, elevated thunderstorms when capable of severe hail will continue throughout the late evening hours here. Okay, so there's just this round up here in Northeastern Arkansas. I believe once we get past that, I think we'll be okay.
Yep.
And we'll have to wait and see what happens. There's a new warning, by the way, I believe. Let me double check this. Yeah, that's a new warning over there in Western Arkansas. Once again, Logan and Scott counties over there. 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter size hail.
So now we're transitioning to our damaging wind threat.
Yes. Now
Through the next couple hours.
Yeah, we're starting to transitioning into our damaging wind threat across the board. And so forth. If y'all have any reports, please let us know as well here. So yeah, send it to Southwest Arkansas. Southwest Arkansas, I think you'll get your shot tomorrow. It's not going to be a lot. Guidance is not Sean's best friend down there. But I would not be shocked to see some rainfall down there in South Arkansas as we get towards tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. We'll keep an eye on that. No severe weather expected down there in South Arkansas. And one more thing I want to tell you guys too going forward. Very cold temperatures on Tuesday, by the way. Looking at guidance, some areas North Arkansas may not get on 40s. Surprise on Tuesday. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll let you guys know in your comments here, man. I had to rewind and see what I missed. That was funny. That was great. Like I said, you're going to be a meme tomorrow, but hey, congrats, bud. I told you not to fall out of the chair. But anyways, I got that severe thunderstorm warning over there in Western Arkansas. It's going to go for the Waldron area. If you can put a track on that real quick, we'll watch that situation closely here, okay? So, severe thunderstorm warning over there. Let me see here. It's going to be 1 inch hail in diameter. I'm not seeing any other report, which is great news. I'm not seeing any damage reports. That's no one thing we've been seeing all evening long. Power outages, damage reports, hail reports, stuff like that. We're not seeing any of that anymore. Our feed is starting to get quieter, so that's good. That means we're starting to dwindle on this severe threat. We're starting to actually get somewhere across the board. There's been a new report up here in Northeastern Arkansas and Poinsett County, $half size hail reported by law enforcement up here. That is just outside of Wiener, Arkansas, which is in Poinsett County up here. So we'll have to watch that pretty close with these storms over here. But Martree, you're getting an absolute hailstorm right now. Tennis ball sized hail with those storms here. As a matter of fact, potential baseball sized hail with those storms moving off towards the east here, and they will start to die off. Severe thunderstorm warning over here. It's going to go for Jackson, Independence, Lawrence, and Sharp counties. It's going to go until line 45. Main threat, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter size hail with these storms here. And the other storms up here in North Arkansas, you're north of the boundary. If you're north of the boundary, you're done. You're not going to have any torrent threat, no severe threat, no nothing. You're not going to see anything up here except for some heavy rainfall up here in northern Arkansas. But we'll watch the situation closely. That severe thunderstorm warning in the metro is just going to get canceled because that storm just went poof. And then we've got another one over here in Scott County that we're going to keep an eye on here. 60 mile per hour winds, quarter size hail. So I think after the Northeastern Arkansas ones are out, I think we'll be good for coverage, live coverage, and we'll just go back to radar updates across the board. Since they're just quarter size hail, 60 mile per hour winds, watch out for the winds, but the hail threat is starting to come way down from what it was before, which is great news here. Okay, you can go right there.
All right, so once again, we have a lot of questions about the storm over Martree. Again, this is moving off towards the east and northeast here, about 30 miles an hour.
Can somebody, Derek, I didn't mean to cut you off for just a second. Can somebody in Perry County let me know on what's going on there? Because for some odd reason, the power outages just spiked and like crazy. We're now up to 2,600 people without power in Perry County. So if y'all can let me know what's going on there, let me know. It may be from the thunderstorms from earlier, the severe thunderstorms from earlier, but they need to keep an eye on that. Make sure you charge your phones, guys, because our power outages just skyrocketed. We're now up to 5,600 people without power, mainly coming from Perry County. I'm going to look into that real quick and see what we got going there. But that's the one thing that I'm monitoring very closely here. What you got for me?
So, let's see. Well, let's go back and look at this Perry County area.
Yeah.
Here.
Our power outages just spiked in Perry County. What are you thinking?
Go back and look over the last, say, see if we can get this update or not.
It'll come up shortly. What are you thinking? What happened? You think you may have? Because that was the exact same storm we were watching earlier that had the rotation.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I would hope it wasn't a brief tornado with that. I think it was. I think it may have been damaging winds.
Significant amount of winds because you can see the amount of wind energy that's actually getting ready to come through the metro here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can see the winds that gusted out of this storm. as they continue to move off towards the southeast. So this is going to actually move towards the metro here soon.
Okay.
So it's just
And here's the
something
thing:
to
if
keep
we
an
lose, I was gonna say, we lose power, we have a generator, so we're good to go. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, the one in Perry County, they're lighting up like a Christmas tree over here, and I'm gonna do some investigating and see what's going on over here in Perry County at this point. If y'all can let me know in the comments, please let me know across the board here. Okay, let me double check this real fast. So it's gonna be energy. Let's take a look at this. So let's take a look at the power outages as well. All right. Let me see here. Okay, so power outages right now are going to be, let me see here, it's going to be for Perry County at this point. Let's see, I'm going to check something real fast here. Okay, alright. So right now, I'm going to see if I can go back over it.
Right,
Alright,
new
there it is.
warning on the board.
Yep, I see it.
2 new warnings on the board.
Yep, I see it. It's gonna be one that's nuts, but they're not producing significant hail.
Right.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of give us a break because we've been live for going on 4 hours now.
3 hour, exactly
Well,
3 hours. Right
yeah. So apparently a wire has gone down over here. They're expecting to have the power back on by 2:30. But keep in mind, I think this is maybe outside of Energy's area at this point, which actually, yeah, it is. It's out of their hair. So we'll have to wait and see, and we'll double check on the power outage to see where they're coming from across the area. So you can see 2,600 people without power. Majority is the first electric cooperative over here in Perry County. Only 104 out of Energy. So I can take a look and see what we're looking at in terms of outage potential here. But right now, yeah, we're sitting at about over 2,600 people without power coming out of the Perry County area here. We'll watch the situation closely. We'll keep you guys updated on that here. But I think that may have been, yeah. So right now, just based off of that, Derek, the power outages started right around 9 o'clock, and there's no estimated time frame on when the power will be back. So it'll more likely be sometime tomorrow. They're going to assess the damage. I'm going to assume that it's straight line wind damage. However, the one thing I want to note is when that storm went over Perry County, it did have a good amount of rotation. It did have a good amount of rotation across the board. So we'll watch it close. I'm hoping for the best case scenario that it was a damaging wind maker that did the power outages, but it did have a lot of rotation here. So we'll investigate a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. But
all right, we do have damage reports coming into the weather center. Damaged windshields in Benton. At cargo ships earlier this evening.
That's from that hailstorm from earlier. They should let that severe thunderstorm one go. With that one for Benton, that one should be. I think they're going to let that one expire. This one is going to be allowed to expire about 9:45, so 10 more minutes. They'll get rid of that one, and then a severe thunderstorm warning over here is going to go for Lona, Grant, Jefferson, Saline, and Pulaski. I think we may have had some hailstones here in the weather center, Derek, with this because I just heard it bang off the building. So we'll watch that close. But right now, I believe the majority of the hail will be just south of the metro, going on 530, going towards the Wrightsville area, and then going to go over towards England and Keogh over here, just south of the metro at this point. A lot of heavy rainfall coming into the Perry County area. This is not going to have power outages because the rainfall has to clear out before they were able to do it.
Yep.
But as I said before, we're going to watch this very closely here. The one in Melbourne, and take a look at this. Severe thunderstorm was located over Culp. That's a weird name. 16 miles southeast of Mount Home, moving east at about 35 miles per hour. Quarter-size hail with this storm. No wind threat with this. Okay, so it's primarily hail. These are elevated storms up here in North Arkansas. No torque threat at all with these storms. Quarter-size hail with the other one. So mainly quarter-size hail with these storms. They're starting at the window. They're not the golf ball, tennis ball-sized hail that we were seeing earlier with these severe thunderstorm warnings. These are kind of like your typical standard. But the ones over here in Eastern Arkansas, Northeastern Arkansas in particular, still producing 2-inch in diameter hail. I'd be very interested to see what the reports are coming out of the Martree area right now. 2-inch diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with that storm here. So the ones in Martree, I hope you are away from windows, and I hope you are you've got your car either covered up or in a garage somewhere because you've got a massive hailstorm going right over your area right now, and I believe that's going to include the Lepanto area, which is just northeast of Marktree. Let's see here. It's going to go north of Birdsong. It's going to go right over the interstate, over towards Keesler. Keesler, and also over here towards the interstate. So you need to watch that very closely across the board. And this is going to continue to track towards the east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour here. So we'll watch the situation closely across the area here. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I expected them to win that game. Anyway. Anyways, this is what we got at this point. Okay, so tell me the update for southwestern Little Rock. Excuse me, southwestern Little Rock. You're good to go. That storm is starting to kind of hand off to the other storm here.
Severe warning for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail with this storm here. So you just have to watch this situation kind of closely here. Go back up to that comment real quick. Okay, earlier, even this weekend, it will be okay, slick. As we go through the night, yeah, definitely. Who was that? Go back. Who was that? It was Destiny. Yeah, great comment, Destiny. That's what I was talking about. So the very low tornado threat to begin with will be even lower to almost zero throughout the overnight hours. So you'll be good to sleep throughout the overnight hours. I promise you. If you're worried about that here, if you're worried about getting some sleep tonight, go ahead and get some sleep. The severe weather threat will likely be very, very low across the board. Arkansas County saying good night. Take it easy, guys.
Yep.
Y'all be careful out there. But the severe weather threat is starting to dwindle across the board. And I said before, once that storm up there in northeast Arkansas goes away, I think I'm going to break away from coverage because that severe thunderstorm watch is going to go away. It's going to go away in the next hour. So those storms up there are main concerns. The other ones, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, very low end severe thunderstorm warnings. I think we're good to go across the board. If anything occurs after that, we'll be here.
Stone County, you're under severe thunderstorm warning right now, actually.
Yeah.
But that's mainly for quarter-size hail.
Yeah, it's just quarter-size hail up there. So you'll be good to go. Yeah, if Elizabeth, I see your comment. You may have to back out of the live stream, then come back in. Facebook does weird stuff. But yeah, it's great sleeping weather tonight, guys. And if you're, like I said, you're a cold weather fan, oh boy. Stay tuned. I got an interesting blog coming up for you guys tomorrow talking about this colder air coming in as we get towards tomorrow evening and tomorrow night here, guys. But Monroe County here, appreciate you guys for being here. We've had a steady stream of about 200 to 300 people in on a Saturday night. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for trusting us as your weather source. I know we kind of give you guys a blooper. That was fun.
All right, we have it's going to be a regular severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, so
issued from Mississippi County.
Okay, so they're going to take away that one.
1.5 inch hail.
1.5 inch hail. Okay, that one right there. The only reason why I'm kind of at odds about it because the deeper cores I'm seeing near the Lepanto. Take a look at the hail core real quick. I think it's starting to die off. It's not as impressive as it was before. But let's kind of take a look at it and see what happened with the hail core. So we're talking, 1 to 2 inch hail. I can see it. They'll probably drop a considerable tag and then go from weather there across the board here. Okay, so no, thank you. No more leaning back in the chair. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Do not fall out of that chair, please.
I'm not.
Do not fall out of that chair. We're not doing this a second time. I'm not picking you up again. Anyways, let's see here. We're threat for Fulton County up there, northern Arkansas. Heavy rainfall will be the primary threat. They just let go. That's for thunderstorm warning, by the way, for over here. I believe that was for. Let me double check that. Let me double check. That's going to be for Independence, Jackson, Lawrence, and then Sharp counties. They let that one go. Small hail still possible with thunderstorm, but this one is completely good to go across the area here. Okay, and let me. Oh man. Anyways, what is the weather threat for Fulton County up there in northern Arkansas? It's going to be primarily some small hail, heavy rainfall across the area here. We'll have to watch the situation closely. Stop making me laugh in the comments. I know, but y'all were the first ones to ever tell me that my laugh was funny. That's great. But that's the only thing with that, guys. Okay, so we're watching the situation closely, but I think we're starting to kind of turn the gate. There's new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, coming out from Mississippi County. And okay, so they kept it at regular. I think they kept it a regular severe thunderstorm warnings, producing 1.5 inch hail. So I think that's still kind of technically under the severe thunder, the considerable tag. Excuse me. But I think that is it. We're gonna let that one go. We've got one. How many more severe warnings we got in place? Outside of that, because those two are going to expire. So you've got one, two.
This is just a special weather statement. The one above the metro.
Yeah,
is just a special weather statement.
Let me see here.
So again, we are now losing our considerable tags.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Derek, if you need to break away, because you've been up longer than I have.
You're fine.
Okay, we can break away and go from there, because I think we're starting to kind of lean down on this severe threat. What an active evening! What a very active evening, which we expected. And this goes to show you don't need tornado warnings for it to be active. We had a lot of reports of hail. I'm still got to go through the photos, the videos, and stuff like that. But definitely a very active evening across the board. A lot of damage reports coming out as well here. So let me go and check the power outages real quick. Let me double check something.
All right. So once again, for our folks in Truman.
Yeah.
Again, the storm, there's no longer a considerable damage tag on this storm.
Right.
That will be allowed to expire here shortly. Again, this storm is moving into Mississippi County and is also moving across the river on into Tennessee here shortly. So once again.
Okay, I don't know what is going on over there in Perry County. Like I said, I think what they're doing is kind of going through the damage and stuff like that. Anybody in that area, please let me know what's happening. I'm trying to get more information on that. Power outages once again have skyrocketed back up to 6,000 across the area here, majority coming out of Perry County. We're going to have to investigate that tomorrow, see what happened. Because I don't know if it's, I don't know if it was I'm hoping it was straight line wind damage. But the problem is we had rotation on that storm earlier on before it lost its rotation. So it could have been like a brief spin up, done something, and then would have went unwarned. So we'll watch it close here, but the power outage threat has gone up significantly over the last couple of hours here. We've gone from what was 1,000, 2,000, now we're up to 6,000 across the board here, across the area here. Justin, you're great. You're funny for that, man. Just lean back in the chair, apparently, man. All the excitement needed for tonight. You're funny. Oh, man, that's funny.
So,
right,
once again, one thing I do want to mention, though, as we go throughout the evening, and into the overnight hours here,
What in the world did you just... Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on.
The WC3 just spazzed.
Yeah, it just spazzed.
Our radar just spazzed out.
Okay.
It just had
All right, we'll take care of that. That's fine. What were you going to say? Go ahead. It'll pop back up.
So basically, what I wanted to mention here, I guess our radar decided it was tired of this too.
Yeah.
But basically, the biggest thing is to remember as we go throughout the overnight hours is that we're going to lose our severe weather threat, but we're going to also gain a lot of rainfall overnight, and with that, it's also going to help. It's not going to help our drought, but it's going to put at least a chip away at it a little bit. Most of us will only see about a quarter to a half inch of rain. See a lot of outflow now from
there's the outflow.
storms. So what that tells me there is that we're starting to lose the biggest part of this severe threat here over the next couple of hours.
Yep, definitely, guys. So that'll be coming up here just a bit. And you can see there it is right there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board. That's all we've got. I was going to say, click on the check mark up there if you want to see the hail threat with that. What you were trying to do?
You got to look at our temperatures again and see.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and go. Right. There it is. It's on the side over here. There you go. I know. It's weird.
There we go.
All right. There it is. All right. There you go.
So we can see our temperatures are starting to fall, and that's exactly what we want to see as we go here. Again, 70s here. So again, we're starting to see a decrease in temperature here again behind our front. It's still warm. It's still warm, but you can start to see. You can definitely see where our change in the temperatures are now over the next couple of hours. So once again,
Derek, we're getting a lot of hail reports in. There's one in Saline County, occurred on the intersection between Highway 65 and 74. You guys got lucky over there in 74 here, because 74 and 65. You guys were on that destructive tag earlier on, and that storm just luckily died out before it got there. But it was producing 3 to 4 inch hail across the board here, so we'll just have to watch that close across the area here, guys. What's up? Okay. What, that comment? Yeah, I see it. I sure can see it. Like I said, you're gonna be a meme tomorrow, bud. It's your own fault.
So I want to mention this, and this does concern me. This could be a definite damaging wind threat as it moves southwest or southeast as we head into the metro area. Again, this is a line of storms that is moving off towards the southeast here, and this is moving off about 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
There's something we're gonna have to watch.
And the problem is the ones in Perry County,
Yep.
they have a lot of outages right now, and the people that are trying to work on those outages, they can't work on it until the thunderstorms are out of the area. So you're not going to be able to see power outages being on to at least probably first thing tomorrow morning, or even tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, because they got to get out there when the weather's clear.
Yep. And
they can't get out there if showers, thunderstorms continue over the same area, which is great news for the drought. But if you're trying to get your power back on, they can't work on it while heavy rainfall is occurring. So just kind of keep that in mind across the area. And that's straight damaging winds at that point. I would keep an eye on the one just southeast of the metro, but that's straight damaging winds. I can see that as clear as day here. So that's what I was saying before. Any torque threat that we even had was between 6 and 10 p.m. and it's gone now. I mean, you're done. That torque threat is completely done across the board here. So I think that is it, Derek. As far as everything else here, I'm not seeing any other concerns here. Mainly, it's just one is okay. Hold on. We just got a new report. A new meso scale out for the WPC. A localized threat of flash flooding will exist throughout the overnight hours, and it's much of Arkansas along that boundary. So they are watching for that flooding potential as we get towards the overnight hours in the first part of your tomorrow morning here.
Let's pull up that meso.
Yeah, I was going to say go to T7 or T8 on there. I can't remember. It was one of them. T9 maybe. Let's see. Okay, there it is, right there. Mexico discussions. And it should be pulling up here just shortly. There it is, right there. So, I was gonna say the severe weather. Right. Yeah, there's the heavy rainfall potential right there. So, oh man, y'all are funny. That's great.
All right. So one thing we want to stress here is that now there is a mesoscale discussion talking about heavy rainfall for much of the area as we head into the overnight hours. What does that mean? It means that the threat does exist for isolated areas of flash flooding, which means we could see an actual increase in rainfall totals overnight. How much? That remains to be seen. But this lets you know here that we are transitioning from a severe weather threat more to a heavy rainfall threat, and that's exactly what we want. We want to see, and exactly what we kind of hope to see as we headed deeper into the overnight hours. Of course, we still have all the rain from Oklahoma to come as well.
Yeah, definitely. Give you guys another report of power outages. Power outages continue to increase. We're now up to 6,200 people without power. I have no idea what happened in Perry County. I'm gonna assume right now it's straight line wind damage across the board, but just don't be shocked, because what happened is they had an area of rotation with that storm before it became a line. So we'll have to do more investigating tomorrow, see what happens, any kind of reports or anything like that. But Perry County, their power outages are continuously going up by the second here, and I think they're doing a lot of damage surveys and stuff like that. Let me take a look here real quick. So we've got 571 in Jefferson. All right, we've got 2,711 Perry, 276 in Yale, 182 in Scott. We've got 167 in Poinsett County, none in Mississippi County right now. Newton County 120, 80 in Johnson, also 730 in Sebastian, and then 182 in Scott County at this current point here. Tornado threat, 0. Just going to go ahead and tell you that right now, 0 for the tornado threat. Derek, if you can do me a favor, let's go ahead and take a look at the Mississippi County storm real quickly. So that's the strongest one in the state right now. That's the absolute strongest one. No tornado threat across the board here, okay? But we're watching this storm close. This is what we got at this point. The hail threat remains with this storm. I believe it'll be popping up shortly. So, but yeah, it's way down from what it was before. Remember, it was producing tennis ball sized hail earlier on. Now it has gone down significantly from where it was before. So still watch out for heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and that hail threat with these storms. Particularly if you're going on that interstate right now that comes out of Mississippi County, goes up into the Boot Hill, which is, I believe, Interstate 555 over there. We'll have to watch that close, but this storm is going to continue to move on towards the east here. But if you know anyone along the Mississippi River, by the way, couldn't have gone to a better area. The Mississippi River, I don't know if you guys have seen the Mississippi River's pictures. It is bone dry. They need the rainfall bad. It couldn't have gone to a much better area than the Mississippi River. So this is going to go over that area. This is going to go over Keesler, Wilson, Osceola, over towards Brighton, and over towards Covington over the next 20 to 40 minutes here. And it's going to make its way into western Tennessee, and it's going to go into Highway 51 that runs out of Memphis. So if you know anyone in western Tennessee, our sister state over there, just kind of watch it closely at this current point here, okay? So it's that storm moving into the Paragould area. I think this is going to stay south of Paragould at this point there. Do me a favor. Let's move those the cities. Move that off to this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is going to stay well south of the Paragould area up there in Northeastern Arkansas. Jonesboro, there is another storm to your south. It's not warned right now, but it is going to continue to move on towards the east. Dustin, he's going to fire you. But anyways, this storm is going to continue to move on towards the east here, so we're going to have to watch that closely. You're going to be a meeting by tomorrow. I can just see that now. But go ahead, bud. Let me see here. I think that's it in terms of everything right now here. I know we kind of needed to lighten the mood because we've been talking about severe weather. We needed to lighten the mood a little bit across the area. Dick, I got another report out of Poinsett County. Golf ball sized hail. This is coming out of Martree right now. Golf ball sized hail.
That'll be an old report because this storm's kind of east of the.
I know, it's an old report. Yeah, that was when it went over Martree. That it produced golf ball sized hail in Martree. That's the reports finally coming out from the Martree area here. And then we've got the other one from earlier on. And then I think that is it. We've got one up here in Norfolk and Baxter County. 1 inch hail over here. Marshall, I mentioned you guys earlier on. I think that is it. I'm not seeing any other reports here. Okay, so we're going to let the one up here in Northeastern Arkansas go. Once that's the case, I think we're good to go. And we'll just have radar updates and stuff like that throughout the overnight hours here. So go ahead, Derek.
Yep. All right, so once again here, let's just go over everything around the state. No considerable damage warnings now out across the state. Again, we have one here for Scott County, and this goes here until 10:15 p.m. 1 inch hail of 60 mile-an-hour winds there. Then, of course, we have the one here for Pulaski, Saline, Jefferson, and Grant counties. Only 1 inch hail of 60 mile-an-hour winds there.
Yeah, they're going to let that one go.
And this one will expire at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then we have another one at 10:15 up here for parts of Stone, Izard, and the Fulton counties up here. And again, this will expire here at 10:15 p.m. Only 1 inch hail, and of course winds less than 50 miles per hour there. And then of course, obviously the one that we've been talking about the most over the last couple hours.
New warning
now for Mississippi County.
Up there in northern Arkansas. 60 mile per hour wind gets quarter size.
And this one is 60 mile-an-hour wind and an inch and a half hail.
Yeah, it's going to go for Randolph and Sharp County. Yeah, Randolph, Sharp, and Fulton County up there. I had a comment earlier from Fulton County. You're now under severe thunderstorm warning. Quarter inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds with these storms here. But go ahead, there. Let me see. Alright, so I think that is it, guys. I'm not seeing any other reports. It's getting kind of late. It's about 10 o'clock in the evening. Thank you guys for tuning in.
So, and maybe you should notice the warning for the Metro.
I was going to say, so they just extended that one.
Yep.
For the Metro.
As well as the South Metro.
Okay, that one, I'm still showing 10 o'clock over here.
Just got a new update on that one.
Okay.
I will say this: if you live in the metro area, maybe
okay, still 10:45 now. Yeah.
It may not be a bad idea to charge up a few things because I do see this line of storms coming out of Perry County. Again, it's not severe one, but I do sense a little bit of a wind threat starting to develop out of that storm as it continues to push off towards the east, or east, southeast. And then, of course, obviously up here for our folks in the very northern edges of the state, again, we do have another hailer up here. This one is for areas around Cherokee Village, and then, of course, upwards here, Sharp County and Point East. This one moving also toward the east here about 30 miles an hour. Let's put a track on that storm. Cherokee Village around 10:20. Hardy around 10:23, and then of course Braverton Springs around 10:51 this evening. So once again, multiple warnings still in effect, but the severity of the warnings is what we have been live for, and the severity of the warnings is decreasing.
Yeah,
we're going from you're going more of a typical severe thunderstorm threat versus the mass threat that we had earlier, where we were talking about very large hail, 3-4 inch hail. As well as damaging winds. Now we're just talking about mainly a more typical threat. Let's go back to the one here in the south side of the metro again. This one somehow managed to avoid the weather center altogether.
Hey, we had a little bit of rainfall. That ain't that bad.
But again, let's take a look at this storm as it continues to push off towards the east here. Mostly rain and hail, lots of thunder. Of course, it's moving off toward east here at a grand total of about 20 miles an hour. So
it's not moving fast
again,
at all.
this storm here formed in Yale County.
Yep.
Moved down to Saline County.
Yep.
Moved east to Blassie County.
Yep.
Saw out 430, moved south.
Saw you and moved out 430.
And then went east again.
Yep.
So literally went around the weather center. But we're not going to talk about that. But Keogh at 10:19. England at 10:28, and then of course Coy around 10:46 p.m. On this round of storms here, as this continues to push off towards the east, and then of course we have this line of storms that is developing here. Let's take a look at our velocity scan here on this storm again.
I was going to say, yeah, you're beyond the point. If there was going to be any sort of torque threat, it was going to be the last couple of hours where you had the thing. But I would watch out. What are you looking for in terms of damaging winds?
Yep. No, definitely, and not seeing anything that's screaming to me damaging wind. You know, we do have a couple of 40-mile-per-hour winds showing up on there, but nothing significant.
I was gonna say you can take a look at the downdraft potential up there, and there it is, and it'll pop up here just a little bit. It'll give you kind of an idea. There it is right there. So there's the about there you go, about 50 to 60 mile-per-hour winds coming in. That's gonna do some damage with that. I think that's probably what happened over there in Perry County. You had that damaging wind gust kind of move through and produce those power outages over there. Power outages continue to go up. That's the only thing I was worried about too. Where you had the tree limbs as brittle as they are, I knew it wasn't going to take much to get power outages here, and that's exactly what we're unfortunately looking at across the area. So we'll watch the situation closely across the board. But right now, I would watch that area very closely coming out of Perry County. I'm surprised, honestly, it's not severe thunderstorm warning for wind. I'm really shocked that it's not severe thunderstorm warning for wind potential. But we'll keep an eye on that closely over the next couple of minutes here. Let me see here. Okay, so it's going to go for this one. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what it is. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're still here, guys. By the way, we're just kind of sorting through everything at this point. My name is Assistant Chief Forecaster Cameron, and this is Chief Forecaster Derek, and we're keeping you guys updated on the waves. We've been live for going over, I think, 3.5 hours.
Yep.
3.5 hours now, giving you guys updates in terms of severe thunderstorm warnings and everything like that. We're getting a lot of damage reports. We're kind of on the downslope of the severe threat, but we're now starting to get the damage reports that you would normally see after the fact. So this is what we've got at this point here. Okay, so
Mississippi County, you're about done.
Yeah, you're about done.
Mississippi County, you're about done. Fulton, Sharp, up there in Lawrence County's areas, we're starting to lose a lot of the atmosphere.
Power outages are starting to come back down.
Up there.
Just a little bit, not much. This just means that they're starting to work on them.
All right. We're now down to 3 warnings on the board now.
Okay.
Well, 4, but one's about to expire here in just a second. So once again, we have 1 till 10:15 here for Stone County. Then of course, obviously, to 10:45 here. Again, the biggest thing is that these storms are starting to decrease in intensity as they move off towards the southeast. Again, there's a line of storms coming into the metro, but there's no warning on it. Therefore, I mean, and it's only going to be 60 mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail.
Yeah.
So again, I do believe we are starting to lose the severity of these storms, and that's a good thing, and that's what we want to see. I do believe we will be able to break away here, at least for now. Obviously, if things ramp up again, we will be back once again.
Yeah, Derek, if anything ramps back up, I'll take over because you've been up since 4 in the morning. So I have more rest than you do. So I'll take, if anything happens, I'll take back over and go over coverage during overnight hours. You need sleep, buddy. You need sleep. You can't go all night. It's okay. But anyways, guys, I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue. Don't give me that stare. You don't want to fall out of the chair earlier. But up there in Northern Arkansas, we're going to have to watch that close. Just got a message. Okay, just got a message from First Electric. Let me take a look at that comment. If you can do that, Nan, if you can let me know what that message is, let me know. But I believe you have significant power outages over here in Perry County here. Okay, so let me see here. It's majority is from First Electric Cooperative over here. But we have 104 output with energy. So energy, I don't know how long it's going to take for energy to go out and get the job done here. But let me see here. Let me take a look at something real quick. So for per energy right now, I believe it's about 2 it's about 2 o'clock in the morning for energy. But I don't know how long is the other company going to take. That's the problem. You're kind of working between 2 companies right now. So one may get done before the other. The other one has a lot more than the other company does. So it may be probably first thing tomorrow morning or something like that before it's all said done. Okay, so we're aware of the outages in your area. Crew has been dispatched. They're looking at about 1 a.m. for the lights to be coming back on in Perry County. I wish we had that here in the metro. That's quick. That is very quick. That's only a couple of hours from now. But yeah, I would watch that. We're gonna watch that closely here. I'm thinking it was damaged winds. I don't think it was a tornado or anything like that. But I would watch that closely. Do me a favor. Let's go back over to the downdraft gust potential real quick with that storm. I am really shocked the one coming out of Perry County is not severe warning for the metro. I'm really shocked it's not severe warning because it's producing, on my end over here, I'm getting 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. There it is right there. So I'm really shocked that's not severe warning for wind. We'll have to keep an eye on that as it pushes southeast. This is the same line, by the way, that has been known to produce power outages. So if you're in Hot Springs Village, Benton, the metro, especially the western half of the metro, go ahead and charge your phones and watch the situation closely. We'll keep you guys updated on that at this point here. The one in England right there, let's take a look at that one too. That one's going to be producing 50 to 60 mile per hour winds with that as well here. Okay, so we'll kind of watch that close at this current time here. But right now, okay, so the estimated chair repair time is going to be Saturday 10 p.m. You're going to be a meme. You are going to be a meme tomorrow, buddy.
Only if people go back and rewind the 3-hour live stream to find that one snippet.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I've done some stuff like that on YouTube. Go from 4-hour coverage and find that little snippet. It's gonna be funny as I don't know what here, guys. But I appreciate y'all for being here. I know it's been kind of 4 hours into the live coverage at this point here. Damn, Justin's got the meetings with you, and it's fine, Jennifer. If you heard the jokes we had in this weather center, it wouldn't be funny. We laugh at each other here, but that's what we do across the air here. Okay, so they will. You'd be surprised. Let me see here, but I think that's it. Yeah, I was gonna say that one is just. I don't see how that's not severe warning at all. It's not even a special weather statement with it. Let's go ahead and put a track on there. You read my mind on that. It's about 30 miles per hour. My phone's charged, by the way. We have a generator just to be on the safe side. Right. You're gonna be
this line of storm is going to move into Hot Springs Village around 10:15, Maumelle around 10:41, Benton and Bryant around 10:55 into the metro here, or around 11 o'clock. And of course on into Sherwood a little after 11 o'clock this evening.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a severe warning, and
I'd
really
go ahead and charge your phone to be on the safe side. I wouldn't risk it. This one is just I see your comment. That's funny. Anyways, yeah, I'm really shocked. I mean, there's not even a special weather statement on it.
Nope.
That's the weird part about it. So just kind of watch it. If you're in the metro, if you're on 67 right now and on 30, go ahead and charge your phones just to be on the safe side here. If you're in Western Little Rock, go ahead and charge your phones to be on the safe side, because this is the same line that has produced a lot of power outages in Perry County. So just kind of watch that situation close if you're in that area here, across the area here. So basically this is what you're looking at, is a slight risk that overachieved. We had a lot of damaging winds. We had a lot of hail reports. Some of them were significant hail reports. This brings back earlier to what I was talking about per the Storm Prediction Center. It's not a call out to them or anything like that. They had a hatched area of significant large hail potential in their morning outlook, and then at noon it just went poof. They should have kept that risk. They should have kept it, because they would have been perfect. They would have verified absolutely perfect, because that's what we saw tonight. Do not fall on that chair. Do not fall on that chair. Do not fall on that chair. I'm trying to save you from being a mean. But I think that is it in terms of everything. We're going to let that Mississippi County one go. New warning, by the way. As soon as I said this is it. New warning. Over there.
Yep.
Crawford.
Crawford County.
Crawford. It's going to be Crawford County. That's going to be 60 mile per hour winds, $half size tail with that storm here. So that's the biggest thing here for today. Slight risk. This is why you never want to let your guard down with a slight risk in place, because they overachieve. And this is an overachieving slight risk that you saw. And this is a non-tornadic overachiever as well here. Okay, so Derek, I think we're good to go.
Yep.
If you want to go ahead and break away.
So the Mississippi County, the Mississippi County storm has now been pretty much reduced to just the Mississippi River now.
Yeah.
And that was the main storm that we were watching. The hail core's come down on that one as well.
Significantly, yep. I agree.
So what we're going to do, we are going to break away. We've been, again, if this line of storms does go severe, obviously we're going to be back.
Yeah.
If this line of storm, I don't think it will. It just outflowed. So,
okay, all right. Yep.
So
you're done.
that tells me that we are pretty much done with that threat.
You're done. I saw that one comment, by the way, from Katie. Yes, your severe threat is going down, but it's going to be loud during the overnight hours. Yep. So keep that in mind. But your severe threat is going down throughout the overnight hours.
There is no tornado threat this evening.
No tornado threat.
None at all.
None. Zero. It was 1% to begin with. Now it's 0%.
Yep.
So I think that's it. Radar updates will continue as long as we have storms in the state.
Yep.
We thank you guys for tuning in. We've been live for, I was trying to make it 4 hours, but we got to 3 minutes and 30 seconds here. Okay, so if you want to, I was going to say you want to answer a few more questions while we're here.
Not expecting any major severe outages power outages this evening. But again, we said that in Perry County absolutely got just the majority of the outages.
Yeah.
But
I think it was damaging.
But sporadic outages are possible as we go throughout much of the evening into the overnight hours. But the rest of it does look great. Again, South Arkansas, your rain will come tomorrow.
Yeah.
The rest of us will be this evening. More rain is going to come. We do expect the coverage to expand overnight, and we will see how things go as we head into the morning. Then, of course, tomorrow we will have an update on our frost and freeze potential.
Yep.
That does look to come through the state here on Tuesday.
Yeah. Temperatures up there in North Arkansas. Sarah up there in, correct me if I'm wrong, up there in Saline County, I believe. This one, what in the world are you? Okay. All right. So, this is, so what I was saying before up there in Sarah, you're going to be struggling to get out of 40s for highs on Tuesday. You guys need to do this in the spring, live full time. Yeah. We actually do live streams in the spring. We were just kind of testing this out because we've had a lot of people. We've been kind of back and forth about just going live for radar coverage, for tornado warnings, stuff like that. But if you guys like severe thunderstorm warning live streams like this, let us know in the comments. We'll make this. We'll try to get this done more often, especially if it's widespread like this. If it's just like 1 or 2 warnings here and there, we'll have video updates here. But yeah, Derek's pulling up the FutureCast at this point. You may have to go and clear the radar because you probably have like a lot going on.
Yep.
Right now here. So clear the radar. He's gonna get the FutureCast up for you guys. Right now, there's some rainfall potential with this here. Here, I can take it over if you need me to. Yeah. So T1. All right, we're gonna get off. We're gonna turn all the warnings and stuff on for just a minute. We're gonna have FutureCast up here just a second here. Okay, so go to T5. Okay, T5. There it is. So there's the precipitation. Look at that. Look at the HRR right through here. That's where you want to see. But you can see some areas over here not seeing a lot of rainfall. But we can take this out real quickly here and hit tab for me real quick. Okay, so it's gonna take this out and it's gonna put it right there. Okay, so obviously that's gonna be a little big for your screen. Here, Control O, real quick.
What?
Control O. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So it's gonna be here, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna shrink this down just enough so you guys can kind of see the time over here. Okay. So this is around 3 o'clock in the morning. This is what I'm saying here, and I'm gonna let you take this one over.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. You have to watch out for some heavy rainfall across the area first thing tomorrow morning up there in northern Arkansas. There, take this out to, yeah, I was gonna say, take it out to about right now, and you can see what the rainfall is across the board. Now, obviously, the HR is not doing the most worst of jobs. We'll kind of have to wait and see on what happens with that. But I do believe what's going to happen is your rainfall is going to expand further to the north across the board here. And you can go ahead and take this out a little more if you want to.
All right.
There's 11 o'clock tonight, so it's kind of sitting across the area. Like I said, HR is not doing the best job, but
it's pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. It's doing honest work. We'll just put it that way. There's 1 a.m. in the morning. Okay, there's 2. So like I said, up there in North Arkansas. Yeah,
and this is what we're talking about here as we head throughout the overnight hours.
Right. So you can see about 3 a.m. over there in eastern Oklahoma. That will push into the state. Now, I will say this. 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't think you're going to have severe weather. I don't think you're going to have severe weather with that. Some gusty winds will be possible and some hail, but I just don't think you're going to have a severe threat out of this. There's looping this, by the way, so if it kind of freezes up a little bit, it's fine. It'll come back up shortly here, okay? So, also, let me see here. I love all the coverage. Okay, there's a lot of people saying, well, no, that was close. Let me see here. So, yeah, okay, so helps with the anxiety. Yeah, we'll do it, guys. We'll do it. If we gotta go live for just severe thunderstorm warnings, that'd be perfect, and we'll do that here, guys. Oh, hey, Brenda, go up to North Central Arkansas. Come to Taco Tribe. We'll give you both free burritos. We will be up there. I'm always down for a burrito. Let me see here. Loaded coverage, major storm anxiety. So I watch nonstop when they're live. I appreciate that, guys. That makes us feel so good. That makes us feel like we're actually doing something right across the board. Obviously, something just came through because temperatures just tanked in the weather center. Let me see here. Okay, so let me see here. Thinking about doing updates. If y'all can generate more information, the better. Definitely do this all day, every day. We have live at 6 when it's active. When it's not active, it's just sunny skies that's going on. We're not live. But if there's active weather coming up, you can always tune in at 6 o'clock every evening. And you'll have a live stream on Facebook and on YouTube, and you guys can kind of join in with that. We'll have it normally every day and stuff like that to kind of go over the weather patterns coming up here. But you can see, man, my heart goes out to the ones down there in South Arkansas, man. I would hope that you guys got some rainfall out of this, but I just don't see a lot. Did we just get a new meso, by the way?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
So here's basically our future radar as we head into the overnight hours.
Okay.
And you see this is not going to be exact, but it's pretty close. We have the ongoing storms right now. We are approaching the 11 o'clock hour, so it's pretty spot on. I mean, obviously the storms up here in Northeast Arkansas as well. Again, no model is going to be exact, but our FutureCast radar, as you can see, we head to 1 a.m. We start to clear out a little bit, but to the west. You can see to the west as we head towards 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. You have our main area of rain and storms that is going to push through the state. At this point, we're not talking severe. This is our main cold front that is going to push through. The front will finally push through. We will get rain, in central South Arkansas. Again, for those of you heading out to church in the morning, take an umbrella. It's going to be wet, but as you can see, the rainfall gradually shifts to the south. Again, southeast Arkansas. I'm afraid you may be the lone wolf here when it comes to not getting much in the way of rainfall out of this system.
Yeah, because I was hoping you guys at least got something out of there. I kind of feel bad for us taking the rainfall and you guys not seeing squat down there. But we'll work on that next couple of weeks, man. We'll get some rainfall going for you guys down there.
So here is the total rainfall expected from now through about 12 a.m. Or 12 p.m. Tomorrow. Again, not much, but HR is still depicting a wide area here of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall across much of the region. Again, we are still watching our severe weather as well. For those of you just tuning in,
yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. We're just kind of giving you guys a future cast across the board, and boy, okay, all right. You guys had kind of a preview beyond this point. There's rainfall totals here on Monday. On Monday, don't be shocked if you don't get out of 50s and 60s for us. Monday is coming in a lot colder than what we were originally anticipating across the board here. Okay, so fantastic. Oh man, that sounds like a painful fall. Somebody, I told you, you're gonna be a meme. You are going to be a meme, and I'm gonna be here for it. So this is what we got at this point here, guys. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall across the year. Great amount of rainfall, but except for South Arkansas, you guys are just all ball out, man. Like, no rainfall down there at all, and I do believe that hopefully changes, but I just don't see a lot of rainfall down there in South Arkansas, unfortunately. We'll have to wait and see on how that verifies here, but we'll have to wait and see on all that. What are you trying to do? Go back to radar?
I did.
Okay. All right.
This thing's been acting free all evening.
All right, you just have to. I was gonna say you have to clear that out.
Yep, it was. There we go.
Okay, there you go. All right, it'll come back on here just shortly. But as I said before, I think that is it. Up, Derek. I think we have okay, that's 3 money for that. We've gotten some new reports coming out of Alexandria of 1.2 inch diameter hail. Several car windshields were damaged. 3 miles northwest of Benton in Saline County. So that was probably from that hailstorm from earlier. At this point, we got some storms over here in Oklahoma starting to get going. Severe thunderstorm warnings for those. So what we're going to do, if anything occurs during the overnight hours, we'll be here. We'll kind of monitor the radar if anything happens during the overnight hours. What I'm thinking about doing, I don't know yet, but what I'm thinking about doing is leaving a stream up potentially on YouTube or something like that, on Facebook throughout the overnight hours, and having like the NOAA weather radio kind of playing in the background. That way you guys can kind of watch radar all night. If you guys would like that, let us know. You won't hear us during the overnight hours because obviously we'll be resting and stuff unless something major happens. But you'll have the NOAA weather radio kind of playing in the background and stuff like that if you guys would like to see that. So let me know in the comments and we can potentially try to get that set up for you guys throughout the overnight hours here, okay? So right now we'll have to watch the situation closely, but I said before, I'm not expecting a whole lot of severe weather throughout the overnight hours here. And Sarah, yes, you need to he needs to fill up the Buffalo River, man. It is bad across the year here. But if y'all would like that, let me know throughout the in here. Let me see. Let me go ahead and check this out. Okay, so we got snow and we got rain. Now where is the snow? Snow is about 4 months away, bud. It's about 4 months away. You're gonna have to wait a little bit for the snow. But if you guys would like that kind of that stream idea, let me know in the comments. If you don't, then it'll be fine. We'll have video updates throughout the overnight hours. But what will happen is the stream will go throughout the overnight hours. You won't hear us. We'll make that clear. You won't hear us because we won't be on the live stream. But it'll be kind of going throughout the overnight hours, and you'll have a stream going up. So I don't know if it's going to be on Facebook or on YouTube, or we may actually do both. We'll see. We'll see at this point. So I think that's it. What are they going to do with the watch?
They're talking about they're going to leave it up to the National Weather Service offices as whether or not they want to extend it or not. So obviously we'll be here all night long as needed, as conditions warrant. Right now conditions are kind of waning a little bit. Mostly we're down to 60 mile an hour winds and quarter size hail. So That's basically telling us right now that we can go to radar updates throughout the evening.
Yeah.
And of course, we will keep you updated on all of the latest information as we go into the overnight hours.
Okay. Right. Yeah, and a lot of people. I'm gonna make a post about that, by the way, after this live stream, to kind of see if we can get some people kind of tuning in and stuff like that. But basically, it'll just be a stream, like an overnight stream. I think. Oh, wait a minute. Facebook only allows you 8 hours, correct?
Yeah.
So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it'll let you go to about 6 o'clock in the morning, which is perfect because it'll cover the overnight hours here. But we'll probably, as a matter of fact, we'll probably start at 11:30 midnight, and we'll just kind of let it run throughout the overnight hours, and we'll get it first thing in the morning.
Yep.
So,
but we thank you for joining us and trusting us. Obviously, day in and day out, we're going to go to radar updates, and of course, as Cameron said, on our YouTube page, we'll try to be looking more at radar live stream on there without us around. But
I just want to see if it's going to actually do it. That was kind of a feature that we were going to kind of test out and see how it would do for overnight events, and this is perfect. Mount Pine, I'm going to let you take that before we
Mount Pine, that's the area that's non-severe storm.
Okay.
But again, most storms are going to be non-severe. They're going to be loud, but they're not going to be But they're going to be non-severe, which is a good thing.
Yep.
So once again, we will be watching. We will continue to monitor the situation.
Yes to it.
And
so I'm probably going to do that. I'll probably have it start about 11:30 midnight, and then just let it run from there. It'll be okay.
Yeah, but if conditions warrant, we will be back on. But we do feel that the severe threat will be waning over the next couple of hours. But we thank you for joining us and trusting us right here on your source
for all things
Arkansas weather.